Good evening and welcome to Haunting Harlow, you guys.
Good evening.
We want to welcome Miss Bambi tonight is going to be our guest on panel. She's done some paranormal research and we are going to talk to her about a couple of different things tonight.
When you say that, you make me sound like a professional. No, I'm an amateur at best. Amateur.
But you have done some. Oh, we got Honey Badger. We can got a honey.
Hey, church lady. Honey
Hey,
Badger,
honey.
what's up, girl?
I love church lady.
I love your
Hello, can you hear me well?
I was on the phone with Harlow when I read your comment, and I started giggling. I was telling Harlow on the phone, I was like, "Oh, that's some funny shit you should have seen what Honey Badger posted." I was like, "Hey, we know those two."
How are you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing good. We got some good stuff to talk about tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about the Indiana Demon House.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing this.
We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to touch on a haunting on Dice Road. It's called Hell House, and it is the most, I would say, documented case when it comes to the law enforcement in the history of the United States. It went on for years. The cops literally have files on the haunting in Dice Road. It's the Pomeranian family. Sounds like the dog, but it's spelled different, I believe.
Yeah, not the dog.
It's not the dog. But these poor people, I don't know exactly what happened. It's speculated at this point. But for all those years, it was every night they were tormented. Every night for so many years, they were on the phone and the police were at their house. And the cops were going, we hear it, but we can't see it. And finally, there was a spontaneous fire in the house. Unfortunately, the stress of what was going on in the haunting and Hell House took its toll on the father. He died first. Then shortly, the mother died also. This stuff physically takes you out. I mean, especially if it is something that's evil. And
like we talked in our grief stream, emotional stress can kill your heart. Emotional stress.
Oh, yes.
You know, when you're dealing with fear and anxiety, which is whether it's a haunting, whether it's somebody physically stalking you, somebody knocking on your door all the time, whether it's a ghost or a physical person, you're gonna be on guard 24/7. You're gonna be stressed. You're not gonna be able to relax. Your heart's gonna be working overtime. It's gonna wear you down. It's gonna
even when you think you're not stressing, it's in your mind. Like you're still
there.
Stressing.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine going to work every day of your life, working so hard. You've got 2 boys and a wife. And every single night you are tormented by the sound of baseball bats. It sounds like somebody's taking baseball bats or their fists and just pounding them.
Inside of your house.
Out of your house. Every night, something like that is going on.
It's driving me nuts.
Nothing. They think there's people after them. They think people are doing this. I mean, they didn't believe in hauntings. They didn't believe in nothing like that. They thought they were being stalked.
Thought it was some weirdo outside.
In the early 70s.
They thought it was one of you YouTubers outside banging.
One of the YouTubers outside. Jeez.
Crazy YouTubers.
Right. But before we get into everything, I'm going to shout out the chat. We got Maureen in here. We have Stella, K-Fam. We have the lovely, lovely, lovely church lady. Thank you so much for coming. And to everybody in the bushes that's watched. Oh, we got David. I think I missed David.
Yes, Mr. Lopez in the house.
Who else did
I see? Stella's in the house.
Hello, everyone.
We can't do it as good as me. I'm not sure if he's still watching or if he is on his way home, but he said that he would be watching when he got home. We got Freeside and everybody else. Everybody else that's watching.
Oh, Christ compels you.
Well, did you know what they think caused that all that nonsense over on Dice Road?
Yeah.
The story I heard, and I watched a documentary, like I said, it was like Mysteries Explained, or one of those ABC, one of those shows. It wasn't like on YouTube. And basically there was this woman that lived across the street from him. She was known to be a witch.
A witch,
And we're not
yes.
talking like Wizard of Oz, like we're talking black magic, trying to summon demons, curses, you know, the worst kind of person, worst kind of witch, not the good kind. And she wanted their house. And
For
they
some reason, she wanted that property.
she wanted that house. Probably because she wanted to summon demons. Probably easier to summon demons. Look at the nonsense going on. Probably a hotbed for supernatural. Perfect place to summon whoever. Yeah, come give me luck. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they were saying that she was doing some shit like cursing them, like actual manifestation devil curses, like the shit that actually works. Like, and you know the thing with their son getting sick because she took his hair, like when she ripped hair out of his head, he developed a disease. They didn't know what was wrong with him. Almost died.
Yeah,
And they think it was her.
Literally for the rest of his life, he was a sickly person, and he could never actually have a normal life, a normal existence.
And they think it's because she took his hair and like cursed him because they said that she would be seen outside dancing around doing some, excuse anybody, I'm not trying to offend anybody, that like dark magic weirdo shit outside all the time. Like,
yeah, she did.
Trying to summon a demon. And I'm going to explain, I'm a Catholic. So black magic, summoning demons, I'm going to call that weirdo shit because it's not good. It's not something I frown on. I don't like that stuff. So I'm going to call it weirdo shit. Don't be offended. Please don't be offended by it.
Well, anytime that you start, like I said before, I've said this before, I'll say it many times. Anytime that you get into paranormal investigating, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a calling, whether it's just, something you want to play with, to be really honest with you, it's not something to play with because you don't know what you're getting into. This is like I told Bambi before, the way that I put it, it's like standing in a bucket of fire with a lit match.
Hey, Harlow.
Literally go off. Yes.
I always do this when I do demon and paranormal streams, like when we start talking about demons and stuff. I always kind of bless the chat because I want them protected. Because us talking about it, you never know what could come through.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying we're back here doing some weirdo shit. I'm just saying you're messing with things you shouldn't mess with, including us. I mean, it's never good. So I like to kind of bless the chat, do kind of a blessing just to make sure everybody's protected. May the loving light of God shine on you and protect you. Do any evil that might try to touch anybody that's listening to this stream, anybody in the future that will hear this stream. I pray your loving light and protection will protect each and every one of you. In God's name I pray, amen.
Amen. And welcome, Gen X Effect. Thank you for coming in.
Try to be responsible.
You know what? Just in case, right? Because
you never know. Like we're talking about a demon and one of our chatters gets possessed. I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want that.
Like I said, that one demon that Ryan Buell had on him.
Yeah,
he wouldn't even say his name. It was that dangerous.
Well, see, and that's weird because they say with like demons, if you know their name, you now have all the power, and they don't want you to know their name.
Yes, that is true. They don't like to give you something that.
If he wants power over this thing, he needs to take control of the name. He needs to quit fearing it. That's what's going to keep
That's what I always heard. But, I thought since Ryan was a Catholic that he thought something different. I didn't know.
No, like the priest, once the priest gets the name of the demon, that's its biggest weapon.
Yeah, he called. Yeah, when he did give the priest the name, the priest actually started calling out.
I mean, that's from what I understand. Like I said, again, I'm not an expert. But that's from what I understand. Like you know that demon entity's name, you have the power now. They don't want that because it gives you power over them, gives God power over them to drive them back to hell or wherever the fuck they came from.
Bambi, what do you think about if an item is cursed? Do you think you would destroy it, or how would you get rid of it? I'm just curious.
See, the problem with cursed items is just because you destroy the vessel doesn't mean it's not going to go into something else.
Right.
Yeah, I think about you take it out somewhere randomly and just bury it. You don't burn it. It's just going to go into something else.
Yeah, but what if somebody finds it 100 years later?
Yeah.
Or 10 years later? That's
buried down pretty good.
Know. I mean, I guess
one show where they burned this little baby that was killed in a drug house type thing, and she knew it was she was in the dresser, and she had her teddy bear, and everything on that paranormal show came through like the ghost tube, and you could see her little figure going back and forth while they lit the fire. But I don't think you should destroy it by fire, for sure.
Well, I think it just depends. Like, if I ever got a cursed item, I pray I never do. I would.
Harlow has one.
I would try to find somebody in that field that's an expert, somebody that handles that kind of shit, and make it their problem.
Yeah,
you know, because if you sell it on eBay, then some poor bastard's gonna have like the nightmare in their life,
like the Dibbit box.
Yeah, that's
Dibbit box. Oh my god, the Dibbit box. That
I hate to burst your bubble, ladies, but you know the Dibbit box is bullshit, right?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That guy like made up the story to sell it on eBay.
They sell so many of those, and you can put anything in them, and it don't even have to have anything in it, and you can get
really. But it has no ties. That box that he was selling has no ties to the Jewish people. None. It was bullshit. He bought a box in the 70s and doctored it.
Now his might not have been real, but Dibbit boxes are real.
Well, no, yes, they are real. Dibbit boxes are real, but that asshole, the story you hear about, the
guy that owned the antique store, yes.
Bullshit. That guy's a bullshitter. He got like
Charlie.
Hey Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I tried to find a paranormal expert, somebody that is a master in that field, or
Foreman Brothers are really good.
Maybe talk to a priest, ask a priest what to do. Be like, this item is possessed.
Because they actually come to your house and bless it.
You never know.
If you have that issue. But Harlow has the box. I wonder if we can find a name out for it. She's got something hidden up in her closet. It's pretty interesting.
Do you? We may have to do some stuff off of YouTube and do some investigating off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I have a couple of items that I should not have because they're cursed or they got something on them. I've had them for a long, long time.
Are they historical?
Are they historical?
Because some things you can donate to a museum, like the Robert doll, because he's historical. He's in the Florida Museum.
I think there's 2 dolls of them, and they can't figure out which one it is. I'm pretty sure you can, obviously. But yeah, that Charlie doll.
I mean, you might be able to donate it to the museum. It's historical value. Make the museum deal with it. They got the money.
Oh man, yeah.
I still can't believe they tore down Bob Mackey's because that had a lot of spirits in that house.
When I was in Bobby Mackey's back in the 90s, we were in there watching actual Bobby Mackey play music, right? Because he had a band back in the day, and he was really, really good. Well, I was standing all the way in the back in front of the stage, and right behind me is where the ladies' room was, and the bathrooms are right there. And I was standing there, and you know how long my hair is, so I felt like wind blowing my hair, and I thought, well, there's breezes. You know how breeze will come through a restroom door when you open them up? So I turn around and I look, and the freaking restroom door is closed, and I'm like, what the hell was that? That's weird. So I'm just listening to the band, having a good time, whatever. Somebody yanked my hair.
Yeah.
Well, you knew about the history of that place before you went there, right?
Oh no! Yeah,
really?
I knew.
You knew about the history.
Yeah, I ain't scared of that. Bring it. I'm retarded. Like I'm stupid. I'm crazy like that. I was like, okay, let's go down in the well room. I'm gonna find her head. I was 20-something years old.
You're one of those. Crazy. You gotta prove it to me. Let's do this. Show me.
Yes, I'm stupid. Just completely crazy.
I've been into a bunch of abandoned buildings. I never thought about attachments. Like I love abandoned houses. And I never would think about the paranormal. Like I could have brought something back because my husband always says there's something following me. But it's just strange how certain things that happen.
Well,
you just gotta be real careful.
Once something pulled my hair, I thought, I asked the dude I was with, I was like, why are you pulling on my hair? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm holding a beer and I got my hand in my pocket. I'm like, well, somebody's yanking my hair. So I'm ready to throw hands at this point because I'm like some bitch out here trying to fuck with me or something. Right. And so I was a couple of beers in. So I go to the restroom and I come out of the restroom or come out of the stall and wash my hands. And all of a sudden the freaking every stall door went boom and opened up and slammed open. And I went running out of that place. I never went back and I never will. Well, now it's gone, it's torn down. But I'm never ever even going around that place because I
There's
don't
just too
believe
much negative energy, it sounds
I
like.
don't, yeah,
If
I
you know
don't
the
believe it
history.
was just the place. I believe it's the land.
Yeah, or you could got some weirdos going in there. Well, like I talked to you on the phone about the Villisca house. It ain't the original haunting or whatever, if there was even anything wrong with that house to begin with. But so many weirdos have gone in there trying to summon demon, having seances, that the place is
Yes,
fucked. It's screwed. It is the devil's
yes.
timeshare.
You
That
gotta
place
be
is the devil's
careful.
timeshare. It's
You know,
screwed.
what's crazy to me is the stuff that we did as kids, not knowing what we were doing. And we went out and bought a Ouija board and was
Yep.
playing with it, right? 16 years
Hasbro
old.
makes them.
But I mean, y'all remember anybody in the
Yeah.
chat, the girls,
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys didn't play this, but the girls played it light as a feather, stiff as a board. We played that and it worked and it freaked us out. Well, anyway, since that freaked us out, we got older, we got a freaking Ouija board.
Yep.
I bought the Ouija board and we're playing with it. And it said some stuff that freaked my girlfriend out that nobody knew because she had been adopted and none of us knew she was adopted. And the stuff that was behind the adoption, there was no way that could have come out about abuse and stuff. I never saw that girl again after that. She left my house that night. I never saw her again.
I've never
And then
played one.
I was telling mom and dad, this was before my mom left, so I was younger. It had to be. I wasn't, because she left when I was 14, so I was probably 13. And mom and dad started playing with it one night.
Oh, shit.
And I don't exactly know what happened. Later on, mom told me, well, it tried to say that it was your grandma, and then we figured out it wasn't because it started saying some really nasty stuff that grandma would never
That's the
say.
sucky thing about Ouija boards. Those goddamn spirits can fucking lie. They can
Right.
lie.
Yeah.
Well, listen to this crap, right? So my dad's like, the hell with this damn thing. And he takes it outside and puts it in the garbage can. Next day, it's in the freaking living room. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I remember dad taking it. He took it out because we had like 4 acres on our land. He took it way out into the backside of a field that we had and he buried it. And whatever happened after that, I'll never know. But he buried it. And that was that house that was full of weirdo stuff. The man found a handmade electric chair in a building in our backyard. I am not even joking. I am not even joking with you. We had this building and it was full of stuff, like antiques and just bottles that looked like they had skull and crossbones on them. My mother, until she died, she still had them, right? Well, he was like, they were going to empty it out because we were going to use it as another playhouse. And he was emptying it all out, but we weren't allowed to go in there because, he was afraid of snakes and stuff like that. We'd get killed or hurt or something. And he pulls a chair out, and I remember him telling my Uncle Ronnie no. He said, and Mom, and I remember everybody. He pulls it out, and he goes, oh, my God. And I walk over there, and he said, get her out of here and get her out of here now. She don't need to see this. It was of course, my brothers and sisters were older, right? It was a freaking handmade electric chair. Like it actually had electricity to it at one time. Who were these people? Okay.
That is crazy.
You know what he did after that? He stuck it back in the building, stuck everything else back in the building and lit a match to it and freaking threw it in there and burned it. Which was probably not the right thing to do if there was anything in there. Jesus. But who were the people that would have something like that?
Weirdos. Well, what are you who knows what goes on in people's heads? I mean, seriously. Think about the world we live in today. Think about today. The world we live in today. You think it was any different back, 20 years ago? No. Still weirdos. Weirdos doing weirdo shit.
That whole place was just weird. I used to have a recurring nightmare of a woman that absolutely just hit the link. I used to have a reoccurring nightmare of a woman in a high neck dress. It was a black dress, and she was pushing one of those wheelchairs. I can't even describe it. Well, it looked. Have you ever seen one of those wicker chairs?
I know what that is. Hold on, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've got them.
Let me guess. They were heavy set. It was the Witch of Tennessee. That's what that was.
Who
You were
was
seeing the Witch of Tennessee.
I don't think.
I'm sorry, I had to.
No, it was like he was a doctor, but he was in one of those. It looked like a wicker, the wicker rocking
Yeah,
chairs.
the old wicker like porch chairs.
Yeah,
Chairs.
but
Yeah.
this had wheels on it, and I was just
like
a little girl.
like an 1800s kind of
Like
clothing?
an 1800s, like an 1800s, like a wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
And she was pushing it, and it turns out that he was a doctor, and we found his freaking doctor bag and everything.
Damn.
In the first building that they cleaned out for a playhouse. It was weird.
That's creepy.
It was.
What's up, Shirley? How are you?
What you should have had done is a priest come on over there and rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Oh, boy, you ain't heard nothing
The
yet.
power of Christ compel you.
I'm telling you, I be making the power of Christ say it 3 times. I'll get the Archangel Michael on that ass. Don't play with me.
Do you know what's really weird? And everybody thinks that I'm bullshitting about this, but I actually have the picture to prove it.
No, I believe you.
But no, I'm talking. Remember the picture I told you that I had of Tex Watson with my cousin?
Yeah,
Tony,
I believe you. Yeah,
because they were in prison together and they became like best friends, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that had something to do with it, but somebody during he wasn't even in prison yet, but it was during the trial. Somebody called my mother and said that they were Charles Manson and was going to come and kill her.
Really?
And they think that Tony and Tex had something to do with that.
It's possible.
Trying to scare her when Helter Skelter and all that stuff was going down.
Yeah. It's possible.
Well, it's possible if he said something to your was that your uncle?
My cousin.
Your cousin. It's possible if he said something he thought that your cousin might have been able to tell that he was trying to scare to where he wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah, just for fun. Like, what if it really was him? Like, what if it really was Charles Manson?
It probably wasn't. Always cool, like phone calls were recorded, and if he was making threats, it would have came out. And he
might have had anybody. Tex probably had somebody in the outside world do it.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with her.
Dude, I don't even know anything about the Witch of Delaware. I didn't even know Detroit was haunted. I didn't even know until I played that video.
I've lived in one of the haunted houses I lived in was really messed up, and I don't know what was in that house, child, but I'm gonna tell y'all a little Star Wars story. So we lived in this house it was where they used to have the houses where they were like they look like double-sided apartments, but they're not. They have the kitchen on one. Yeah, it had the kitchen on one side, and that was the laundry room. The other side was the living room, and then the bedrooms. Right, it had 2 doors when you stepped on the front porch. One to the kitchen area, one to the living room area. Well, the one side always stayed, and I mean, we didn't have air conditioning. We had window fans. Always stayed ice cold. I mean, you could walk in there and be feeling freezing to death in 110 weather in Mississippi. And you know how hot it get down here and humid, right?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay, so one day I'm sitting in the living room with my dad. I'm sitting in the floor as a little kid, and we're watching Woody the Woodpecker. We had one of those old clicker type TVs. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It has the 2 clickers, one on top, one on bottom.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sitting there, and the TV goes click, 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 click. Both clickers turn, and it changes the TV. My daddy says, "Get up, go over there and turn that TV for me," because we was the remotes back then.
Yeah, so exactly.
That's a Gen X thing.
I turned the TV back. I had to click the top clicker to the star and the bottom clicker to the channel, and because it was over 27 channels, so we had to go to the bottom clicker at that point. So I bet you it was a Zenith
too. It was a Zenith TV.
I bet it was
Go to
too.
your phone. You screw up, you have to start over again.
I had to sit there. I went back and I sat down. We was watching Woody the Woodpecker, and we had a candy dish, a glass candy dish. But my mom put my hair bows in it for my hair. It rose up off the TV, stood there and hovered in midair, and slung it at me. And if I hadn't have jumped back, that candy dish would have hit me and broke.
Holy
Yes. He was mad because I changed, or she was mad, whatever it was mad because I changed the damn TV. It did want to watch cartoons,
dang.
I suppose.
Dang.
They probably wanted to watch your stories, and you was over there changing their channels.
And
Do you
now
guys,
we
have
had
you
a-
guys ever heard? Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, have you guys ever heard like EVPs of like serial killers? Have you guys like heard any of those?
I've heard EVPs, but not of serial killers.
Oh
that I
man,
know of.
I've streamed some of them on my show. They're the most creepiest, and I'm not creepy like they sit there and talk about their crimes. Just like the common theme I've noticed, and I've talked about this a lot, like light and dark, light and dark.
Mhm,
You're in the light. Like a lot of spirits will say, "Oh, I'm in the light. I'm in the light. I'm in the light."
mhm, mhm.
Well, the common theme with these like serial killers and in like evil people, killers and stuff, is the common theme like Gacy. He's like, I'm in darkness. I'm in darkness. Like it's so creepy. And Charles Manson, and this is why I'm bringing it up because of the Manson thing in the chat. He said the same thing. I'm in darkness. I'm in darkness, which
Well,
leads me to believe that if you're evil in life, you're in darkness and death. Like hell is darkness, like all the time, darkness.
Well, you know that my
He'll
friend
never
Esther
see
also
the
said
light.
this. The guy who you remember the guy who's starting the Satanist church? But it's pretty much
Anton LaVey?
yeah, you know what he said before he died, right?
No.
Mm-mm.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong.
I'll go
That's what he
figure.
kept
Imagine
saying.
that.
Well,
huh?
I've heard mom and dad, my grandma, and my aunts all talk about people that start freaking out when they would be dying. They would start freaking out that the flames of hell was licking at their feet. They could feel the burning. And they'd start screaming out, no, no, no.
Yeah, that could be end of life psychosis, though. Like as your body starts to die, chemicals are released in your brain
That's
that
true.
can produce hallucinations and stuff.
But I also believe since they were a piece of shit in the world and they're a piece of shit in death.
Because I like the whole dark and light theory, because like if you think about it, what do we always say to each other? Keep shining. You have a bright light. They're bright. Their soul is bright. They're bright light. Well, evil people, they're dark. They have to replenish their what little bit of light they got off of everybody that's light, like us, everybody that's bright. And so, like in death, they don't have the bright lights of other people to replenish what little light they had. So they're in complete darkness, which is kind of what I think is going on, because we're made of energy. If you want to think of like anatomy and stuff, we're all energy. Energy. I mean, God aside, we're all energy. Light energy, dark energy. Light and
And
dark
there
have to feed
are-
off of each other in the physical matter. In the spiritual realm, what are they going to feed off of? They ain't got no light. They're
Exactly.
dark. I mean,
We had in one of the houses we lived in, we had a man who passed away. They were literally playing a card game and he got, unalived. Now he was a trickster. All he liked to do, we had a doorknob, but it didn't have the thing for the clicky, and it sure in the crap couldn't lock, right? Because it didn't have that. And he would lock the bathroom door all the time. Like you would try to open the bathroom door and you couldn't open it. And nobody'd be on the other side, nothing like that. He liked to change the TV, the radio. He just liked to play tricks. But one day, I had gotten I just thought about it and I was like, I don't know if he knows he's not here anymore, if that makes sense. So I told him, I said, and we found out his name, and I said his name. I said, you're not here with us no more. We're of the living, you're not, I said, it's time for you to, pass on. And it wasn't too long after that. I told him we would take care of the house and all that stuff. And it wasn't long after that we stopped having all those things happen, and it was like he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes people don't know if it happens suddenly, like real quick.
yeah,
I don't think they know they're gone sometimes.
sometimes I think so too. I think the initial shock, like you'll hear stories of nursing home workers or hospital workers where like people will die and they'll see like their soul kind of just there. If that, like, I'm sure you guys have heard stories like that. healthcare workers witnessing like what they think is a soul after somebody who just died.
Oh yeah. I've
And
also
then-
heard people say they see like something coming from people's mouths, like and just like
Yes.
looks
Their
like
soul.
smoke or something, and they're
Yeah.
like, and a lot of healthcare workers be like, I'm tripping. They think they're tripping, but they're
Yeah.
not. They're absolutely seeing the person's
It's-
soul leave their
Their
body.
soul
Like
is
one-
leaving. I saw my husband's leave his.
I remember
I sure
one
did.
nurse
I felt it. I
was talking
felt
about
that freeze.
something that looked like the Grim Reaper, this dark figure before a patient died.
Hey, Sully.
Holy shit! I mean,
Hey, fam. I have
Sully.
heard of the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch is
yeah,
from
no,
Tennessee.
hey, Rod, thanks for
And
coming.
Witch of Delray. The Manson murders was August of 1969. My mother.
I think it was 67. Maybe.
No, it was 69.
Okay, the one on here said 60, but okay.
I'm pretty the Tate murder.
No, yeah, you're good. No. I was
Take
trying
You
to
mean
hurry.
the arrest? Because I thought it was in '64. My bad.
Wait a
I was
minute.
way off.
Tate murders was August 1969.
Okay, wow, I didn't realize it was that late.
That was Sharon Tate.
Yeah, because it said that was
Hey,
the end of the
Sully.
Summer of Love. That would have been the 70s.
That was the summer of love. So yeah, and my mom
that
got
makes
that.
sense.
My mom got that phone call in 71. I was born in 73.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 64. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Hey,
I think-
Diesel.
I believe some of them actually started. The girls actually started murdering people in the mid 60s, but the Tate murders with Tex Watson, that was 69.
Can I just say I love her name, Mississippi Queen? I love you.
Mississippi Queen. Hey,
Mississippi
Beetle.
Queen, you know what I mean. I love that song.
When
Yeah,
I
'cause I'm
told you
from
guys my
Mississippi.
name the other day, I sounded like a bale of hay. It's so country, y'all. It's so country. I can't stand it. I sound like a bale of hay, but it's all good. Whatever.
Well, I have me and my best friend. Basically, I talked to her today. We don't speak every single day, but we can literally go like 6 months without speaking. Pick up the phone like no, because we grew up. Our dads were best friends, so we grew up with each other from the time we were born, pretty much. And we could sit. That's like my little sister, right? And I was telling her that I said, "Do you believe there's people on the internet that don't believe I talk the way I talk, and I talk this way all the time?"
You're faking. You're just acting. You're faking. Just stop with the fake
Oh
accent.
yeah, they say the
It's
same
so
thing about
fucking fake.
mine.
I'm tired of hearing it.
They say the same thing about mine because I was in born raised in Eastern Tennessee.
It's
Tennessee.
fucking same thing with me. It's like I go out in public on my live stream and just talk
Eastern
to people the
Kentucky.
same goddamn way.
Country ass people, and then we go to Cincinnati, and I live in the hood, and then I go back to Kentucky. What do you get? You get country ghetto. That's what you get.
Well, see, I grew up most of my life in the hood. I grew
Yeah,
up in a little
exactly.
town. If y'all look it up, y'all can look it up. I don't care. It's called Aberdeen. It's literally
Aberdeen
called
is in like the song Aberdeen. I believe in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, Mississippi.
Yes, that's what
it's-
that one guy wrote about. He wrote a song about Aberdeen.
It's a little old town in Mississippi, but they call it Mini Memphis. And I grew up there most of my life, and then spent the other part of my life in the country. So because I grew up in the hood, I have hood mentality sometimes.
Yes,
I can, but I'll tell you something the hood taught me. Pay attention. Look around. Check your surroundings. I promise you, I can go anywhere in this nation to any hood. I don't care if you think it's the baddest hood in the world, and I'm going to be okay because I know how to carry myself in that hood.
Right.
The Jefferson Davis Museum's there in Mississippi. He died in seclusion there in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Biloxi? Yeah, Biloxi,
Yep.
Mississippi. That's down south. That's what we call the Delta.
Now, see,
Me and Harlow were talking about that today. We were talking about that.
Yeah, because
Talking about the
they
Civil War
actually
and Jefferson Davis. I was like, they had their own constitution. He was like the president. And she's like, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah. I was like, I wonder where the White House was. Like the Southern White House.
Well,
I thought it was in
you have to
Mississippi, but
think
it was
about
it's in Richmond, Virginia. I thought it was in
you
Mississippi.
got to think about the Civil War was the bloodiest war ever fought, and then all that blood soaked into the land in the South, and I think that's why the South is so damn haunted.
You
Well,
want to know
not even the
something? I got
Civil War.
running.
Look at all
Right.
the atrocities before the Civil War, all the slave
Trail
torture,
of
all the
Tears.
murders, way
The
before.
Trail of Tears.
Yeah,
If
and
you
then
look
you
up the
add that on
Natchez
top of the Civil
Trace-
War, boom, there you go. Doubles time
Have
share.
y'all ever heard of the Natchez Trace Parkway?
The what?
The Natchez Trace Parkway.
No.
It goes
No.
from it goes from Jackson, Mississippi, all the way up into Tennessee. Let me tell you something. There's a place called the Witches Dance. Okay. And they have different things that goes down it. The Natchez Trace was the original Trail of Tears.
No.
Witch's Den.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere called the Witch's Den. That doesn't sound like a fun
It's
place.
called the Witches Dance. And what
I'll
what
skip.
it has a little plaque and it tells you that if you go in there and you find a circle
Investigations.
and there's no grass growing in that circle, you can find the exact spot. That's where the witches used to dance.
What? No,
I'm
definitely not
going.
doing
I'm
that.
going.
No, you have fun,
going.
Harlow. You and Charlie can go. I'll sit that one out. I'm gonna
Look-
sit it out. I don't want
Look
to deal
up
with
the
the
Natchez
witches.
Trace Parkway, and there's a lot of things up and down the trace. A lot of
No,
people
fuck
come
that.
down here. They visit all the little stops. There's even like little stops where you can read about American Indian history, Native American history, and you can go on down to the Pearl River, and there's campgrounds all up and down. So we have a lot of visitors.
I would
from all
love
over
to
the
see
world.
it. If it wasn't for the, witches den stuff, I would love to see the Native American history. I love that kind of stuff.
I do.
Is
Oh,
there a
you
lot of
could just-
paranormal
you can-
activity
You
in an
can
area
get
over there?
by.
I've
Well,
got stuff for protection.
I'm gonna tell you this. I keep there's so much activity up and down the
Dumb.
trace. Now I can take you if you want to see something haunted. Down at Amory, Mississippi, they have a museum. It's the Amory Museum. It used to be the hospital. At one time, it was they did when the Civil War happened. They had a bunch of soldiers there they kept, and it was also it turned into a mental hospital. Then it went back to being a hospital. It went through a lot of stages. It even went to being an old folks home for a little while. And
Okay.
it's extremely haunted. I used to sit in my
Wow.
house. I used to live across from it. And
Uh,
like when a foggy night happens, you'll see a nurse walk across the second story and you'll see somebody walking around with those old school lamps. And you can see her walk across and
yeah,
they
I'm
have a
good.
train car back there. And during the daytime now, during the middle of the day, we was walking in that train car and it looked like something peeked around the corner at us and then popped back and nobody was in there but us.
I think I've seen someone go and investigate that place you're talking about. It is creepy.
Oh, the
Okay.
Lyric Theater. You ever heard of the Lyric Theater from the Ghost
Yeah, I
shows?
watch a lot of paranormal shows.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I've heard of the Lyric Theater.
oh
I've
yeah,
heard of that a lot.
It's in
Yeah.
Tupelo, Mississippi, which is Elvis's birthplace.
Really?
Yep. Up here in
Okay.
my neck of
First
the woods.
off, it's not that I'm chicken. I'm not scared. And
you're
here's
reading
the
the
thing.
chat.
Is when I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, oh, I could take on the world. I'm invincible. Okay, nothing startles me. It's fun to be startled. Ooh, I got scared. It's fun. Okay, at 46 years old, it's not fun to be startled. It's very draining. Like when I went to Villisca, it took me 4 weeks to recover. Emotionally, physically, 4 weeks. And no matter how protected I was, I took a priest with me. We did everything we were supposed to do before we went. The house still got me. It's
There's
still
some things you ought
got
not
me.
mess with. There's this
You
one
know-
place my brother was telling me about that if you go up the drive, there's a tree in the middle of it. It's an old gravel drive. You get to the house, and if women hear and see something different than the men do. When men go up there, they have a spirit come at them that's just real bad, and they take off running. The women hear a woman screaming bloody murder and some things happening to her that I ain't gonna say on this internet because it might get Miss Harlow's channel messed up, and I ain't doing all that. They hear some really terrible things, and they go running back to the car. And when they drive out on the tree, you can see him hanging. He had did something to his wife in that house, and then took himself out of this world.
Well, see, the house that I lived in for years with my husband, our house was extremely haunted, right? Before my husband and I got in this house and moved into it, the lady that lived there before us, she died of cancer in the back room, which was the family room. And then Michael died in the front room. Well, right after we moved into it, and I've told this story before because I'm going back there probably next month or early May, and I'm going to do an investigation because Millie Long was murdered in my house in late, I think it was 89, and she had a party, and the guy she was dating, he stabbed her almost 30 times and cut her head off. And when he did, he walked out, calmly sat on the front porch and waited for the cops. is insane. But now he's trying to file appeals and trying to get out. The latest appeal that he filed was in 2015, I think. But before that ever took place, because there was always something going on with that house. I don't know why I was so completely compelled to live there. It's like I was drawn to that house. And the first thing that I wanted to do when I moved in that house is I wanted to put up a picket fence. And my neighbor comes over. She was an older lady. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I see you're putting up a picket fence." And I said, "Yeah, it's, look really nice, And she's like, "It's funny." And I was like, "What is?" She's like, "It's the same picket fence that Millie had in the same place."
Freaking beetle.
And I was like,
Miss Bambi, with your health conditions, I would never suggest you go do that because you're more susceptible. They any kind of evil entity, they if you're have a physical problem, they're going to latch, and no matter what protection you take, no matter how many crosses you got around, I don't care what you got going on.
That's what they're doing
first. You got to be careful with that.
Oh yeah, it was.
I love the week.
My Villisca live, as Beatles talking about it. It was intense. Like, I saw some of what happened in the house. Like, you can see me visually stop and start crying on my live. The whole time my anxiety is just off the charts. I couldn't calm down.
What's the history of that house? Do you know?
In 18, I think it was 1820, the Moore family, husband, wife, 4 kids, and 2 visitors, 2 little girls, were spending the night. They attended a church ceremony, church program at 10 o'clock at night. They were walking home. They walked home at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. The 2 Stillinger girls that were staying over were visiting, went to sleep in the bed downstairs room, which is where I saw what I saw. Downstairs room. And then upstairs, basically the killer hid in the attic, and he came out at some point, bludgeoned and killed everybody with an axe. 4-year-old little boy in his crib. Killed him.
Jesus.
All of them. Entire family. Covered the mirrors. And then, like, I don't know when the haunting started. I don't know. No one's ever really talked about that, like when the paranormal shit started. But I found out about the Villisca house like 15 years ago. I saw Resident Undead, and he went there, and I was like, holy shit, this place is in Iowa. I gotta go check it out. And the first time I went there, I got sick, like physically sick. I thought I was ill. No, I wasn't ill. It was the house. And I found out it was the house because the caretaker was talking to me outside, who I'm now friends with. He was like, I feel like that every time I go into the house. That's why I don't give tours inside anymore. So then I knew I wasn't sick, that it was the goddamn house. The second time on my live, the minute I walked into the house and started setting up my equipment, all I could feel was fear. Like, that whole house was dripping in fear. That's all I could feel. Even with a priest standing right there with me. Fear, just, I can't even describe it. That's all you could feel was fear. So my heart's just fucking racing. I can't calm down because all I can feel is fear. Everything. And this is 1 o'clock. This is like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Is this the house you were going to talk about?
No, this is a different house. The hell house I've never been to. The houses we were going to talk about, I've never been to. Like, I don't have any experience at all. So the 2 we're going to talk about, the Dice Road and the Hell House in Indiana, which is no longer standing. It was tore down.
Thank God.
The one in the back chat that Miss Bambi was talking about, I just found it. It's literally called the Erder House.
Yep.
Then that's the actual website for the actual house.
Wow.
House.
Dang. Yeah. Hello, anyone that just came in the chat. If I missed you, I'm sorry.
I was gonna go to Villisca back in this October, but like, I had reservations about it. Like, normally I prepare and I'm all excited and preparing myself. But this time I just couldn't prepare myself, and I'm calling it God's intervention. they started renovating the house, so I couldn't go anyways when I wanted to go. So it was like this year, something was telling me you're not going, not this year. And I don't know if I ever will go back. You know, even for my
Something drew
show,
me.
I don't know.
The house that I lived in, something absolutely drew me to that house. I don't know why she wanted me to live there. I don't know. Something, I think it was Millie had some kind of a connection with me, because when I was the same age as she was when she was murdered. She had blonde hair.
You know, that's
She was
funny
short,
that you say that. That's funny.
and it's just, it
Because
was weird.
a lot of hauntings, they'll say, I don't know why, but I just wanted this house. I had to have this house.
I wanted,
You know,
I had to have it. I have, and it's like the house talks to me. It's like, I swear to God, this one time I put a freaking, this was after Michael died. I put a digital recorder in the back room. This house was giant. This house was probably about 4,000 feet. Okay. It had been added on to, was huge. But I had a computer room was way back, is the very, very back room away from where I was going to be. But it had all like hardwood floors going through it. So it was loud when you walked through that old place. And I walked in there, I turned it on, and I said, this is me walking away when I walked away from it. And I even closed interior doors to keep me from making noises or anything like that. And the only thing that was in that room was my computer, which was shut down, and then all my plants. That's it. Because I had sliding glass doors back there, and that's where they found her headless body halfway in and halfway out of that back door back there. And so I walked away and I let it go for about 45 minutes. And I went back in there and I rewound it. And I didn't sleep for days after that, because I heard people walking, opening cabinet doors, opening drawers in my bureau back there, just someone whispering, like talking to, you know how you talk to yourself when you're looking for, like, I don't know where it's at. Where
couldn't
is
handle
it?
that. No, I couldn't handle
Yeah,
that. I couldn't
and it was a woman. It was a woman. And it was so, there was so much. There was layers upon layers upon layers of EVPs. And I had to take it to a guy that was an EVP specialist that my uncle knew, that was part of Eastern Kentucky Paranormal. And we had to take it to him. And he said there was at least 4 different layers of EVPs going on at one time, at literally the whole time. It was insane.
Did you ever think of like getting a priest to get rid of it? Did you ever think of getting a priest to like get rid of what was going on?
No, because I never felt threatened. I never felt threatened.
Well, if it didn't bother you, then it means, like I said, some people can live with that kind of stuff. Like, I lived in a house that had a little bit of noise. I mean, it was built in the 1800s. Lots of natural deaths, a suicide. You know, so there's little things, cabinets opening, like little stuff. It wasn't like not all the time, so it wasn't really a nuisance.
Mine
so I mean,
takes
if you can
stuff
live
out of
with
the
it,
refrigerator. Mine
you know,
took
if
out
it's
a
not a nuisance and no big deal.
crazy.
What, yours takes food out of the refrigerator? Hell
No,
they gonna
like
pan
one day, like after my husband had his first surgery, like let's say, like he was still, say maybe 2 weeks out while he was coming in the back to come and lay down, and I was back here getting everything set up, and I heard him trip over something, and I didn't know what it was. And he thought it was a laundry basket because we have a long hallway to our bedroom, and it had brought out the 24K, still cold to Mountain Dew, but it set it below behind the curtain. So when he would walk down, he would trip. But he caught himself luckily, or it would have been a bad ordeal. But we've had his mom pass away in this house, a lady with cancer, and then another man that was married to that lady. He shot himself over religion. Like, so this, I have to do cleansing a lot of the house because, yes, I do get sick here sometimes. He does too. It'll make you pissy for no freaking reason. You're fine one minute and then you're just mad, or it has effect on you. But I try to keep it cleansed. I've got the oils and stuff to put out with and all the crystals. But I mean, you can't play.
Hey, MRH.
My uncle, hello MRH. My uncle that was with me we went to Mansfield State Penitentiary in Ohio, and he was attacked. And like I said, he had the 3 scratches going down his chest, down his stomach. He had them in 2 different places. And it felt like something was sitting on his chest. He couldn't breathe. We were praying over him. We were putting holy water on him. And when you see 3 scratches on you, that's a mocking of the Holy Trinity.
Something that helps when dealing with what sounds like a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from a Catholic priest, because I was telling Harlow about my little incident with a demon. He said, put up St. Benedict medals, say the St. Benedict prayer, say the St. Michael prayer, but put up like St. Michael and St. Benedict medals. St. Benedict protects you from evil. That's why, like, people ask me about my necklace. I have a St. Benedict cross. I have a St. Christopher medal. And that's what I use to protect myself, just in general, not just from like spirits.
If you're getting messed with when you say the Lord's Prayer, it's going to confuse you and you're not going to be able to actually get it out. Like, it will mess with you when you try to say it. It's crazy.
So they say put up St.
I've seen that happen before.
Also invoke.
I try to use the bully
name of
tactic sometimes.
Jesus. Invoke the name of Michael the Archangel. When you invoke them, in the name. Yes, in the name of Jesus, leave me alone, and say it 3 times back to back in like an invocation, right?
Mode it to
be. Yes, and sit there and say, Michael Archangel, please come to me and protect me from this evil that wants to hurt me. And ask for him.
There was a prayer that Ryan Buell used to say before he would say, Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us and help us, defend us in battle, lead us, stuff like that, defend us in battle. Because like he would be going, like I told Bambi earlier, if you ever want to look up something that will absolutely take you to your knees, look up I Am 6 by Ryan Buell and Paranormal State. That's the one time I believe that it got real. He actually had people walk out on him and said, I'm not doing this. This is too real for me. Because it did get real. He tried to pick up an 80-pound little girl that was being possessed. And he was screaming at the top of his lungs, in the name of Jesus Christ, let her go. And he's crying and he's trying to lift her up. And I'm telling you what, it was hard to watch this girl get attacked. But they did it. She's, to this day, she's still being attacked. Look up I Am 6. You will not regret watching it if you're into paranormal stuff. But trigger warning, it is hard to watch. Now, the stuff that we wanted to talk about tonight, The Haunting on Dice Road, I actually watched the documentary on it.
Me too.
And the stuff that they caught was insane. But what really got me, was the police reports. The police was actually standing there going, and they're on their freaking, CBs going, we're listening, we're hearing them beating on the house, but we don't see anything.
Yep.
And it's nuts. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna play this little video I got. If you guys want to watch it, it is on Amazon. It's called A Haunting in Dice Road Hell House. And the guy that is doing the investigation is Shippy. What's his name?
Shipley, I think.
It's something. His last name is Shippy.
Shippy. I think it was. Hold on, let me look. Let me look at the video. Shit, I can't. I can tell you after the video. I can tell you after it's over. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll tell you after. All right, I'll tell you after. All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. Okay. And again, I'm going to ask for God's blessing to protect all of you in chat. What you're about to witness could be a manifestation of hell, demons. We don't know, but we don't want nothing affecting you. So may God protect you in what you're about to view.
Absolutely.
Viewer discretion advised.
Trigger warning, yes.
The number of man hours attributed to this case is immeasurable. It's immense. I never saw this much investigation done on a homicide.
Sheriff's deputies were out there all armed, and they could help us.
I heard but I'll tell you one thing, I saw it.
She was seen several times coming out of the Dice Road Cemetery at odd hours of the night.
She did tell me that she was an ordained witch.
I believed it. After going through it, I believe there was witchcraft there.
You may not want to become involved in something that you shouldn't.
There was a real deep male voice saying that it was going to kill our family.
He had a heart attack, and we were doing mouth-to-mouth on him, but he didn't make it.
Someone released it. They never did figure who it was, but they released the information to Saginaw News.
After my parents realized that the police couldn't really protect us, we talked to our pastor. He wouldn't even come to the house. He was afraid. Then my dad turned to the Catholic priest the nights after he had blessed their home. I mean, it just got really bad.
The only way to kill a demon is set it on fire.
Yeah, I've not seen that one yet.
Everybody's got to watch that because
There we have it. Yeah. Cops.
what ends up happening is after the father dies of a heart attack, Steve Shippey, Prozac. He goes by Prozac and when he raps, but he's a great investigator. Many props to him, because I'm telling you that one had me on the end of my seat watching the stuff that they caught. And I mean, you're screaming at the TV going, there, it's right there. It's right. I mean, seriously, it's really caught right there. And I mean, they, it is insane to me what's going on in that house. But there was a roll of toilet paper that actually spontaneously combusts in the bathroom and catches part of the house on fire. And that's when they finally gave in and said, okay, we have to leave.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's not safe at that point.
No. And
my paranormal expert is in the chat room right now. Investigation 13, aka Dom. That's my go-to person. Like, he's been in the field 27 years. Like, when I say expert, he's an expert. Like, no bullshit.
Great. One of my dreams is to work with him. He is a great investigator.
He's the guy. He's who I go to. Like, I'll run things by him. I'm like, what do you think of this?
Chris, so investigation knew exactly who he was talking about when we was talking about.
Yeah, he knows.
The Hell House and on Dice Road, because that one got me. That one actually got me. I was like, what am I witnessing right now? I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, y'all. There was one night, I'm going to tell you how messed up my friends are, okay? Never trust your friends in an investigation, okay? Hear my words. Never trust friends in an investigation. So we go to what they call the Screaming Bridge in Westchester, Ohio. I was about 21 years old. We had a handy cam that I borrowed from my dad. Remember those things? And we actually went to the Screaming Bridge. They say what happens is at a certain hour of the night, you will see a train coming. You will hear someone screaming on these, train tracks running, and it's a bride and she has no head, right? That's what they tell you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we're all just standing there bullshitting around and BSing and whatever you want to call it. And we're waiting and stuff. And my friend's like, what's that light? I'm like, what light? So I turn the camera on and I'm looking. The bride with no head sounds like Tony Pizza's. Jesus. And I turn the camera on it, and there's this light, right? It looks like a flashlight. So I think somebody's walking up the tracks, and they're just going to try to mess with us or something. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to keep my camera on the people and see what happens, right? So it keeps getting brighter, and it keeps getting brighter and bigger. The light keeps getting bigger. There's no sound, y'all, no sound whatsoever. And then as it got maybe 100 feet away from the bridge, you can see an outline of a train, of the front of a train. You see this train coming, but there's no freaking sound. Okay. Bambi, do you know you're muted, honey? And Honey Badger? There's no sound on this train. And I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like, what? Okay, first of all, I was like, are you guys seeing this? I'm holding the camera and you can see it's shaking. It's starting to shake. I was like, are you guys seeing this? Oh my God. And then you heard what I considered was a very faint woman scream. It wasn't loud. I didn't see her running without a head or nothing like that. But I did hear a faint woman scream, and then it was done. And I turn around and I'm going to my friends. I'm like, oh my God, did you see that? They're at the car. They're at the car, getting in the car and leaving me there. The fuck? Are you serious? Y'all just gonna leave me with the headless little woman and the demons and whatnot? Come on now. Don't trust your friends in an investigation.
Yes. Your friends are assholes. Yes, your friends are assholes.
They were running. They're like, hell no, we out of here.
You have a bunch of assholes for friends.
They bogged out and
Bunch
left
of
me
jerks.
standing
Fuck that.
there.
I get some new friends.
They were like, you should have ran faster.
Yeah.
Bogged out. They're like,
I
no.
can't complain. Like,
They were like,
honestly,
Mom.
human response. You're scared. You're running. You're scared. You don't care
I
about your
got to
kids in
the
the room. You're
car.
fucking running.
I got to the car, and two of my friends was black, and they're like, "No, see, you know, the black people always be gone because they're the ones that die first." And I'm like, "Hell no, y'all
movies,
crazy
yeah.
hell."
Shit.
Well, you know, you
I
got to
made
be
a
the
sacrificial
cameraman.
lamb.
You got to be the cameraman. He the last one. He the only
I
one
was
that
the
ever
last
made
one
it.
Sacrificial
there.
lamb. That's
I
what
was
that
the last
was.
one there. How they gonna leave me behind? Like, y'all just gonna
At
leave?
least they didn't trip you.
They didn't trip me though. They didn't
Yeah.
trip me. Them punks
They're like
was on
lock you
me.
in.
They were running. I'm like, where are y'all going? Wait for
And
me.
they was like track stars. You better keep up.
Because they were scared.
I'm a
That's
runner.
what
I'm a
was
track
going on. They
star.
were scared.
Oh my God.
I'm too old to run. I can't do that stuff.
I
I'm too old
If
for
you
that.
see me running, you better run too, because
Too old for
something
that.
terrible's behind me.
I
Like
was
so,
looking for the law. I
Yeah.
thought they were running from the law. I'm like, oh my God.
that's like
Y'all
if I see Miss Bambi running, I'm taking off running. I ain't asking no questions.
I don't hear no sirens.
They left me behind with a freaking train that don't exist and a freaking woman with no head was screaming at, and I'm like, I'm gonna get in the car, and my friend's like, how the fuck the bitch gonna scream with no head? I'm getting the fuck out of here. He was madder than hell.
That's a
He
good
said,
question,
"Don't
though. How
ask
you gonna
me
scream
no
with no
more."
head?
Right.
That's a
He was
damn
like,
good
don't ask
question.
me to come on these no more. I ain't coming on fucking with you no more. He was mad.
It's like, I
Still
ain't
brings
fucking
that
with
up to
you.
this day.
You had a headless woman screaming at me. I haven't heard that.
I don't
Yeah.
trust you no more.
It's not your fault. You didn't know there was gonna be a headless woman screaming at you. It's not your fault.
He bogged out on me, and to this day he'll bring it up. He'll bring it
Let
up to
me
this day.
guess.
I mean, why is
You
he
were the
acting
one
like you set him up? He's acting like you set him up or some shit. That ain't right.
He's like, I ain't coming on this shit with you no more. Oh my God.
Let me ask this question. Were you the one
Damn.
that told him it was a cool thing to see? And so he's like, and he came along, then he's like, no, bro, I can't be doing all that.
He was like, man, this place is dark as hell, bro. What the fuck, bro? He's like, man, I'm black. This place look country as hell. He's like, we're gonna get busted. He's like, they be lynching people out in this motherfucker. He was going on and on. I was like, shut up and get out of the car.
He even brought up the lynching thing. Shit. Damn.
He didn't want to get out the car. She got him to get out the car, and that's why he was mad when she got
He
back.
was like, don't bring on me. I ain't coming with you no more. I ain't fucking with you no more. He's like, I want to know where we going, what we're doing when you ask me to come along next. I'm like, oh man, come on now.
Yeah, tell me you're going to a haunted place. That ain't right. You got to warn him.
I told him I was
going
like,
to the Devil's Timeshare. You be
told
prepared.
him that we were gonna go check out the Screaming Bridge. What the fuck?
Oh, Screaming Bridge. Well, there you go. You told him.
Yeah,
Screaming
like
Bridge.
he
Why do
knew.
they call it the Screaming Bridge?
You're going if I tell you to go. You're going.
How do you not know that was going to happen? It's called the Screaming Bridge. Hello.
He didn't think that it was really going to happen. Now, I did get chased out of a cemetery one night, and I don't know what it was.
Chased out of the cemetery? What the fuck are you doing, Harlow? What are you doing?
Chased out of. We went into a cemetery to do a seance one night.
What are you doing with your life? What are you
I was like in my 20s. I was like, what better place to do it but in,
in your 20s? Okay, I've done stupid shit like that. Cemeteries, go looking for ghosts. So we're gonna summon some spirits. We're in a cemetery. There's gotta be ghosts here.
They swear up and down that this one man was evil and that he was a murderer and all this stuff. So we went out there and we were trying to freaking like get him to talk to us and stuff. And then something started like walking towards us, and it was like an all black figure. Like it wasn't a shadow person because it was just like a cloaked looking thing. I don't know how to explain. It looked like
No, I'm just kidding.
It probably was. Was.
Harlow, I'm not gonna come on. I was gonna come down on you and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, trying to talk to murderers in the cemetery?" But then I remembered. Oh wait, BMV, you were talking to serial killers in your 20s who were alive. Well, what the fuck are you on about? I can't exactly come down on you for that. I can't. I was.
I've seen some messed up shit, y'all. I've seen some messed up stuff, but I have never.
I still go and do the stuff, but
sounds like it.
Honey gets all kinds of stuff in her house. She catches shit.
I'm gonna try to get Bill the Butcher to come up here one time. He's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of like crazy EVPs, things moving, this craziness. Like his house is like crazy, and he was smart enough to buy cameras, all the 9 yards to capture all the shit.
This shit will steal my clothes and jewelry. It will even take fucking hangers. It puts it in position, like places that I know my husband cannot reach down to, and my kid's not going to do it either. I mean, I've had it done multiple times. It will do phone cords, chargers. It will do anything that something that's accessible that you got to have. Yeah, it hides it. It's so
I had
crazy
a
what
fucking
I was
ghost do that. Take my fucking car keys. Like
it
for
does.
3 days, we couldn't find my goddamn car keys. And then one morning, like one of my kids and I, like we walk out to the living room and they're sitting right there on the fucking entertainment center, which we would have seen 3 days ago if they had been sitting there to begin with. Oh,
I looked for a phone and I knew I had it there. And it was gone for over a year.
Oh, that pisses me off. And silverware, they'd always take the silverware.
Yeah.
And we'd always think that our daughter was like throwing it away because she wanted to be lazy, didn't want to do the dishes, like toss the plates and silverware in the trash. That's what we thought she was doing. No, it wasn't her. Like silverware would just disappear. No rhyme or reason, it's gone.
Christopher, you spent the night with a woman in that house, and I don't know what kind of freaky shit y'all did, and that don't got nothing to do with hauntings, honey. You want to talk about that? I mean, we can get into that, but that don't got nothing to do with. I mean, it might have been haunted after y'all left.
Hey, Dom, what do you do about that? Like ghosts that take your shit. Like, is there something
you really
you do to
can't do anything about it? There's not really much you can. It is, but you really can't have. I mean, I got oil and stuff to bless the house, which I do, and then the crystals and stuff, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if we do any change, yeah, but if you do any change, they get pissed here. So if we move, if we start remodeling, it starts getting pissed, and then it will start. It's shit.
I'm so glad you said sage, because I did that one time in the house, because I had a Native American friend. And she's like, "Oh, burn sage. It rids spirits." I said, "Okay." Got some sage, burned it. That house got pissed. It was not happy.
You want to know something to keep them out and to push them out? Shit. As you sage each room with white sage and lavender and Palo Santos, right? You say your prayer in there, your Lord's Prayer. After you leave that specific room, put a salt line right along the door line. Do that and only leave one entrance open. One entrance, one exit, like your front door or your back door. You can choose which one ever. Do each individual room, and as you do that last one, put that same salt line. Do not break it for a while. It pushes them out. You have to do the salt line.
I did the north, south, east, and west for our house.
I'm scared. I'll be honest with you. I'm scared to use sage after that fucking one time I used it and the house got pissed. I'm actually afraid to use sage. And it's probably because
I'm
I was
at-
doing it
I'm
wrong.
about to come to
so-
your house. I'm about to come to your house to help you out. And
No,
get
the
him
house
out of
is
there.
gone. The house is
Oh.
gone. Yeah, it's long gone. I'm good. My house now I'm great.
Have
My
you
house-
ever
Like we had
heard?
the ghost meters on ours, and it didn't say shit after we did the north, south, east, west. Like it was gone for a good 2 weeks. My sister, her ghost meter did not go off at all, and it won't ever shut up. But no, it actually worked, and it left, and then it came back a little bit stronger. But I'm used to it. He's used to it. He can see it. I can't see the shit. You'll see black little things like little orbs going around, black and white, but.
My
Well,
daughter
it
could
could
see.
be-
She saw like the shadows. She couldn't see the actual ghost itself, but shadows. And she'd always complain about it as a little kid. Oh, I see this big 6-foot shadow, and I'm like, what are you on about? And I felt so bad for her because it has to be scary being a kid and seeing that shit. It has to be. I'd be scared as hell. I'm
get
scared
scared
now
too.
seeing that.
Have
shit,
you
and
ever
I'm
heard of
going,
using? Have you ever heard of using brick dust?
using
Now, I
what?
know what
Brick dust.
I don't even know what that is.
talking about red brick dust.
Yeah, red brick dust. Yes,
Like
Like a
actual brick
protection.
dust.
It's a protection.
for
No.
protection. It's
Yeah,
a
No.
I've got.
protective line around your house, and they can't cross it. Anything that's willing to do you harm, whether it's a person or a spirit, cannot cross.
I've tried salt, doesn't work. Never tried brick dust, never heard of that method. If I ever come across a situation with that again, I will definitely try it and let you guys know.
I've got oils and stuff that you can make with the house. I'll show you later.
But I'm
There's a
not.
mixture-
Again, I don't have any hauntings going on, so I'm good. I don't have any issues.
Now that what they show on TV about gopher dust or goofer dust is true. They do use that down here,
What?
but
What is that?
it's basically a mixture of salt and different. I think it's cayenne pepper and
It's a black salt.
pepper. Yeah, black salt.
Who comes up with this stuff? Like where's this
That
stuff?
comes from
Where's
comes
this
from
coming from?
that comes from
Research.
either. Yeah,
I'm
like
pretty sure that the brick dust, the red brick
Because I've
dust,
got the
comes
black
from
salt
voodoo.
too.
That's actually
I'm
a
just
voodoo
curious.
thing.
I was curious. It's who's coming up with this? Like where is this coming from? Like who's developing this shit that works? If it works, great.
It's right
I'm
there.
just
Christopher.
curious.
He asked for the link. It's right there.
Really, spells too. So it's kind of like a witchcraft.
Yeah,
Like,
it comes
very
from
witchcraft
voodoo.
It comes
Oh,
from
voodoo. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean.
I
That's
don't
what I
think
was
it
asking.
comes- I'm
Like,
not
where
sure
does
if
it?
it's used in.
Where's the
I'm not
origin come
sure
from? Okay.
if it's used in hoodoo, but I know it's used in voodoo. Because hoodoo
Well,
and voodoo.
I
are
don't
two
know
different-
much about. I don't say that again.
Like
You're not
voodoo
saying
is-
voodoo as in like Louisiana, but like
Like
Voodoo-
Wiccan.
Voodoo is almost like it's a religion, but it's got more of a Christian background. Am I correct? But hoodoo
even heard
is
of
the
that.
black. Voodoo is white magic. Hoodoo is black magic.
The difference between voodoo and hoodoo is the religion aspect of it, where you literally just do prayers and different things like that. Hoodoo is the practice of it.
Yeah.
I thought
There-
it
I'm
was
confused because I thought voodoo was bad, like people putting spells on you. I've seen Chucky, the voodoo guy. Oh, it's spirit.
Exactly.
Like,
No, I
I
thought
thought voodoo was bad. Like
practice.
Madame Laveau, that chick, Marie Laveau,
Marie
the
Laveau?
plantation owner voodoo priestess that everybody's afraid of. She wasn't doing nothing
Yeah.
good. Like I thought voodoo was bad. Like
That's not
making-
the
Me and
link.
myself and I just like using salt. And I usually use sea salt or pure iodine, like like the pure rock salt.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like to use if I use it. And I also do the Lord's Prayer. And also you can get online these amazing like little stones that have like the Archangel Michael's
Nice.
symbol on it. They have the one you were talking about just a while ago.
Saint Benedict.
Yeah, Saint Benedict. They have
Try it
these
again.
little
That's the
stones
link.
that have all that. And you can do the north, south, east,
Try that
west,
link
and
again.
put those stones in each one of the areas, and they can never come back. That's what they say. I don't know. I've never tried that on an extremely haunted house like that, because my house is not haunted. Now, something
Bambi,
did
drop
pass
the link
through
for
here.
Christopher because he says I don't
Yes,
know how
I
to drop
will.
links. Thank you.
Now, see, I always like, for me, in my my personal experience, when something is too much, like way too much, like you have injuries, like too much. I have to say, call Catholic priests, like, because to me, they have a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. Their technique seems to be pretty accurate,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
they have their like ear to God. They're like literally touched by God. A lot of these priests that do exorcisms and stuff. So, like I always say, when it's for me personally, if it gets to be too crazy, I'm calling a priest. I'm not gonna fuck with it. I don't have, like I was telling Harlow, I don't. Yeah, I may be touched by God, but not in the sense of somebody more spiritual, somebody more like, to me, priests are it. They are literally touched by God. They have like abilities I don't have. And when it comes to demons and that kind of shit, they're the knights, not me. No.
I have I can't explain this to you, but because of the Cherokee blood that I have like this, I can't really explain it, but I have prophetic dreams and different things like that. And when my husband was at this one house, someone that he knows likes to play around with black magic, let's just say it that way. They were sending something to him to attack him. And all of a sudden, one of his other friends was trying to do a protection thing for him. She's like, I can't reach you. She said she couldn't see past his white aura. And what she didn't know, but he knew, and I knew, was at the time, from thousands of miles away, I was doing my prayers over him. And she couldn't see past the white light.
Interesting.
You can do that for someone. You can send out blessings to someone. As long as you only play in the light. I don't play with the darkness. And I'm a Christian. I believe in God 100%.
I don't mess with either of it. I don't mess with any of it because I was always raised, like I said, I'm a Roman Catholic. All magic is the devil's work. You don't.
I don't do magic. Oh no. I send out my light, love, and my prayers.
None of that.
I'm sitting there saying my Our Father. You know.
Oh, okay. So you mean like actual prayers? Okay.
Prayers, like real prayers.
Voodoo, the dust, the salt. I'm thinking, holy shit. And then you were saying light stuff you don't practice in the dark. I was thinking, okay, I don't even. I thought you were talking like good shit. Okay, my bad.
I pray. I use Jesus. Jesus is my homie. Didn't you know
Amen.
that?
Yeah.
That's my homie right there. Every time a bad storm coming through, I'm praying to my homie. Me and my homie
I
having
pray,
a conversation.
Dude, I go to mass and pray every morning in Uncle Edwin's, 4 a.m. I'm in there praying and doing mass every
Catholic
morning.
because he's from New York. You know, a lot of New Yorkers.
That's my church.
I'm a Protestant person, but I don't claim a specific denomination because I've went to so many different denominations. If you wanted to label me, you could, but I just believe in God.
I don't care about labels. Like, the way I stand is, it doesn't matter what religion you are, as long as you know God is there, you're good.
Absolutely.
You're good. You're set. I mean, you're good because that's all he wants is for you to believe in him and believe he exists. As long as you do that, you're good. Doesn't matter what religion.
If you believe hard enough and you love him hard enough, I believe you can protect anybody from anything evil that's trying to come their way because he is the ultimate power. That's just my belief system.
Yep. I agree.
David?
Yep.
I don't need any more problems.
Evil
I just looked
cannot
it
live
up.
where he lives.
I just looked it up. It says voodoo is a fully developed religion with complex of deities as spiritual practices, while hoodoo is more of a folk magic tradition focused on practical applications like healing and protection. So that is completely different than what I thought.
Let's keep putting your cross at me, Trock. I ain't no black magic priestess up here. What are you doing? Compel you, sir.
I'm getting chills up my back.
Compel you, sir, not me.
I'm gonna send you some Jesus your way. You're gonna be okay.
Oh, he gets it. He's fine. He don't need Jesus.
I don't know. There are some people on YouTube that think I'm the devil and that I'm like possessed or some shit.
Well, there's people on here that think I'm evil, but I don't care.
Exactly.
Let them think what they're gonna think. It's not what they say. It's not what they call you. It's what you answer to, baby. And if you don't answer to it, yes, it don't matter.
100%.
Amen. 100%.
Have you guys ever heard of the baby powder trick?
The what?
Yeah.
The baby
Using
powder
baby
trick?
If it leaves any tracks.
Yeah.
No, I've never tried it.
I have, and it works.
Really?
It works.
I never thought about that. I never
My
thought about
friends-
pouring baby powder someplace and seeing if shit walks through it.
Well, when I use baby powder, I'm slapping a hoe, but that's not the point.
That's right. Well, that's the pimp slap, but that's a different
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I got that too. It's a truck slap.
Yeah.
But anyways, back in the 80s, my friend's neighborhood, people used to see like kids, ghosts, like
Right.
they were children at night walking down the street. And his car used to get moved like 4 feet every freaking night where he parked. It was like an old New Yorker. Chrysler New Yorker was a big, big car. You can't
Damn.
just move this
Yeah.
car. And we
Right.
put baby powder all over the trunk and the bumper and the ground. There were little footprints and hand marks on the back of the car. It was
Damn.
the weirdest shit ever.
I bet. Do you guys get creeped out by like ghost children? Like I find ghost children to be really, really creepy. I don't
think
know
that's
why.
the creepiest thing.
Yeah,
Creeps
anything
me
to
out.
do with
I
kids.
don't like ghost
Yeah.
children because I don't trust them because demons have a tendency to cloak themselves as children,
Yeah.
and evil has a tendency to try to come in as little children to gain your
Deceive.
trust and respect.
To deceive you.
Manipulate.
If you see me walk into a place and I say nope and walk right back out, you better come back out with me because I ain't
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say nope.
Well, like there was that doll. There's a famous haunted baby doll, and this doll has been known to cry
Annabelle.
like a baby at night.
Annabelle, yeah.
No, not animal. This is like a baby doll, like a baby.
Oh,
And
the
this
little
doll has
toy
been
one.
known to cry like a baby.
Are you
And-
talking about the boy doll, Bob?
No, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but this doll's like mangled. It's like looks really creepy. And the legend behind it is the people that owned the doll, they all had miscarriages. And the doll will cry like a newborn baby off and on. This doll. And I'm like, fuck that.
I'm
I
football
can't have
kicking
no
that
ghost baby.
doll. I'm football
Yeah.
kicking that doll and running away.
Creepy.
That right there. See right here. Right
Nah.
here. This is what I'm scared of right here. Mimics.
Yeah,
Mimics
mimics?
freak me out. Have you
Oh,
ever had
yeah.
an experience with a mimic?
What do you mean?
They're evil
A
spirits.
mimic. Have you ever had an experience with a mimic?
Mo, what exactly is a mimic?
A mimic is a spirit. Okay, say you know your mother is in a completely different state, or your kid is at work or something like that. They will take on the sound of their voice and start calling for you to invite them in, or asking you to open up the door or call you from upstairs or something. And you know it's their voice. You're like, oh my God, that's my mother. But you know it can't be because she's either in another state or she's just gone. She's dead. They'll do that. They mess with you.
And that's when you nope out of there.
How do
Yeah.
you know it's a mimic and not just, sometimes the mind plays tricks on you. You'll think you'll hear somebody say your name and they didn't. Like, you'll think you heard somebody say something and they didn't. It's not like that, is it? That you're
No,
talking
this
about?
is
Okay.
no, the ones I'm talking about have been reported. They've been recorded.
No, I've never had that happen. I've never had that happen. Thank God. I don't think
Yeah.
I want to, honestly. I know I sound like such a pussy. I know how I do.
Investigations
not.
with the devil
not,
will
Miss
take
Amy.
the sound and appearance of child to get to you.
I used to be all about ghost hunting and seances and speaking to spirits and, ooh, look, I want to see a ghost when I was younger. But like I said, at my age, 46, it's not fun to be startled. It's not fun to be scared. It's not fun to hear voices where nobody's standing there. It's not fun to watch things
Not at
fly
all.
off the shelf. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun at my age. It's just me personally. It's not fun.
Did you
I
guys
don't
ever
like
hear
to
the
be-
story about the Tiny Tears doll?
The what?
I have a
It's called-
tiny
It's
tears
called
doll.
Tiny Tears.
No.
I have to.
Yeah, they say that they're pretty
Hi,
creepy.
Joe.
I've heard
I
of
have
dolls
tiny
crying, but like not that
Please
particular
tell us
doll.
the
But I've heard of
story of
dolls
Tiny
crying.
Tears, because I have that doll in my bedroom, and I will go get rid of her right now. I swear to God.
What about the dolls whose hair keeps growing? What is it, Miko?
What?
Over there in
No,
Japan? They have
Yeah.
a shrine
Okay.
to her? Her hair
Yes, I
keeps
heard
growing,
that.
like they cut it, and the hair will
Hell
keep
no,
growing.
that's
The hair will
messed
grow
up.
back.
The
And
Can't
that's when
explain
I
it.
get rid of that doll, and I never, nope.
They can't explain it. Like nobody can explain why this doll's hair grows back. And
You guys are
some
giving me
people see it
chills.
as a good luck charm, like an omen looking over Japan. Others say it's the lost soul of a dead girl. Like there's a story about it. Like if you ever
Very
get bored, you
possible.
can look it up. It's like a Mika. Just look up the Japanese dolls whose hair
Yeah.
keeps growing. Like you'll find the story. You'll find it. It's kind of
Tell
creepy.
us the story of the baby Chrissy. I mean, not baby Chrissy, but Tiny Tears.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yep, the tiny tears.
Well, tell us.
Yeah, what do you got? What'd you find?
I'm finding the video now.
All right, cool.
Get off the stick and on the spray.
I'm gonna be like Miss Harlow's black friends, and I'm noping out of there. I'm running.
David, I like David's statement. That's how I feel. I'm the same. I'm
I
the same.
barely
with
When
David.
y'all were
David.
talking about
That's
Ouija
what
boards, I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't never played one. I never will. I walked in a girl's home. She had them up as
Nope.
decorations in her house. I went nope and walked right smooth. That she said, "You ain't gonna come in my
Ooh.
house." I said, "Not until you remove that from your home. I'm not doing it." She had
No,
about 12
yeah.
boards up on her wall as decoration. I said, and she had a couple of them like she had been using them. I said, "Nope." I walked smooth out there, stood in the front yard and talked to her. She said, "You ain't coming to my house." I said, "No, I ain't." I said, "Because I'm gonna tell you something. There's some things you ought to leave alone and ought not mess with."
That's
And
one
that's
of them.
one of them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mess with
Well, you
Ouija
know what,
boards,
for
psychic
me-
circles, none of that shit. Nope. No psychic
either.
circles, nothing.
For me, because investigation said for me, it's a passion and the history of the place, making contact with past souls. For me, it's the fact that this stuff kind of runs in my family. So the paranormal is kind of normal in my family. And it's just something that's always happened in my family. It's happened to everybody in my family. It's got some kind of a special gift when it comes to this. Plus, not only that, but it makes me, I don't know, I'm curious about the afterlife. I want to know if there's one, what it's like and what it's about. I want to know. I want to
Thank
make
you, Dom. Dom knows the doll I'm talking about, the Okumu. I can't say it. The Japanese doll. Yeah.
I will say this. I know what you're talking about, Miss Harlow, when it comes to special abilities.
Mhm.
I have a thing and I don't like it. I hate it. I can't stand it. And maybe that's why I don't mess around with these investigations. I can smell when someone's going to pass away. I have
I
dreams.
couldn't deal with that.
It sucks, Miss
What does it
Bambi.
smell like?
Yeah, I can't really. It's almost like a old blood smell, kind of, sort of.
Talking metallic?
Yeah,
Kinda
like a metallic. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
And-
actually physically smell death. Like I've smelled
Mhm.
dead bodies before, so I know when you say old blood, I'm like kind of metallic. I know what you're talking about. I've never heard of somebody smelling a dead body while the person's still alive, though.
It's usually right before they're fixing to pass too. And the other thing that sucks about it is when I dream, it's the dreams don't come in the way you think. So in my dream, if a person succeeds in murdering me, all right, because I have to go by YouTube guidelines,
Right.
then they themselves pass away, right? If in case they don't, and I live through it, they have some kind of really bad accident.
Really?
Wow. Remind me not. Don't ever dream about me ever. No,
I'm
ever,
hoping I don't. I
ever-
don't like those
don't
dreams.
ever dream about me.
Those dreams are scary. They're not fun, and that's why I don't mess around with the spirits too much because I know also what can come through.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like it once you feel, Miss Bambi, you could say this because that investigation went on. Once you feel what real pure evil feels like, you don't ever want to feel it again.
I've dealt with a demon, most scariest fucking experience of my life, and I say it now. Never again. I will never fucking deal with a demon again. Never.
Yeah.
It was the worst experience of my life. Harlow heard today some of what went on in the house when that demon was there. She heard it, like some of the shit that went on. Never again.
You don't want to
refuse.
deal with that. It's awfulest
refuse.
feeling. It's like you
Mm.
get this feeling across your body that you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed but you keep pushing on, and then it just keeps getting worse, and you just feel sick. Your body feels bad. It's like you feel drained of all your. You never want to
Yeah.
really mess with that.
Like what was going on with ours was oppression, heaviness all the time.
Feels like an elephant sitting on you.
Yeah, you're on edge all the time because 24/7 there's noises, things are coming off the wall, toys, stuffed animals are moving, constant 24/7. It never stops. And then it starts to it'll start fucking with your head. There'll be whispers, you'll start seeing things. And I'm not talking like humans, things like people in the house will start seeing things. Then it gets physical. Then you get the physical attacks, the scratches, being choked, thrown downstairs. It is the worst thing ever. And the worst words to hear a priest say, we may have to have a mass in the house. AKA, this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. This ain't going to be quick.
Yeah.
And they have to do it more than once. They have to do it more than once and quite a few times. I'm going to tell you another thing that happens with me. I see people, like my mom's best friend, the day my son basically was born that night, I didn't know she passed away. I saw her standing there just like she was every day I'd seen her my entire life with her favorite. She had her favorite muumuu on. She had this one dress that she loved to wear that had flowers on it. She was a big old woman. And I didn't know she was in the hospital because they were keeping it from me because I was pregnant and sick, right? And I found out the exact moment when they told me the exact moment of her passing, and I knew exactly what time. I looked over there and saw her. I was like, I ain't telling nobody. Like, you don't want to tell nobody when that stuff happens because you're like, you don't want to believe it's real, if that makes sense. Yourself, like you're trying to justify it to yourself that that's not real. That didn't really happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like in my case, like the demon K-Fam, I wasn't scared until, and I know you guys have heard me tell the story a dozen times, till that last evening, 11 o'clock at night, my daughter's boyfriend comes downstairs and he's got scratches on him. And I panicked because the next step is possession. And that wasn't the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of was, oh my God, I can't protect my children. And I had a 5-year-old in the house. I couldn't protect them. And I panicked because how do you protect your children against something you can't see? And like I was telling Harlow, I immediately thought of the Indiana Hell House and CPS watching that woman's kids get picked up and thrown against the wall and beat on by something you can't see.
Yes.
How do you physically protect your kids from that? You can't. I mean, it's a very scary thing to know that you cannot protect your children. That's what scared me. That was like it. I was like, no, I'm calling a priest. I'm done with this. We need help.
One
this
thing
is
you
insane.
messing with me, but it's another you messing with my child. And your mother instinct came out real fast. Like, no,
it was scary.
You ain't doing this to my babies.
Well, I mean, because there's other things like a friend of hers got choked. I didn't really freak out. But when her boyfriend and her came downstairs and he had 3 claw marks down his back, I panicked. I was like, oh God, what if it attacks my 2 younger kids? What if it put marks on them? How do you protect them? How do you, you're helpless. You can't, if it was a human person, I could beat the fuck out of them. But how do you beat up a ghost? How do you beat up, how? You can't protect them. You just can't. There's no way for me to physically help them if it was to get attacked by something I can't see. And
you did the right thing by calling in the priest. You did the right thing.
Yeah, I had to. It was scary as fuck. And that priest came out the very next morning.
I'm going to go ahead and play this video about this Tiny Tears doll. Because,
yes.
You might need to nope and go throw that thing away.
Exactly, because that's her. No, see, you got me bad. You got me fucked up. You all got me fucked up. That's the doll.
Is that the doll you got?
That's the doll I got. Man, y'all got me. Come on,
eBay. Just saying.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm ready to pick that motherfucker out of my house.
Doused in holy water.
Doll manufactured by the American Character Doll Company. She was introduced in 1950 and was sold all the way until 1968 when the company eventually went out of business. Her distinguishing feature was her ability to shed tears from 2 tiny holes on either side of her nose when her stomach was pressed after being filled with water from her baby bottle. And she had what was called rockabye eyes, which is eyes that slowly close when you lie her down or when you're rocking her back and
That's not a doll, that's a video game. How is this haunted?
simulate like a real child. Tiny Tears was sold in a pink and white checkered dress or a romper with a baby bottle and small pipe that actually blew bubbles when you put
And
it
she
into
comes
her
in a
mouth.
Let's
She
encourage
comes in
smoking
a
in
folding
children.
box.
You could also get her a cradle with and Tiny Tears really quickly became one of the most popular dolls of the 1950s. She also apparently audibly cries and wets her diaper as well. So this doll was like very ahead of its time. And I'm pretty sure in 2022 they have these new and improved Tiny Tears dolls that burp when you pat her on the back and they call you mommy. But these new dolls just aren't as interesting to me. There's something about the old vintage dolls, the ones from the 1950s, that creep me out. And yes, I bought one of these OG dolls from eBay. You could never expect anything less, but it does look really rough and it's not her fault. The years have not been kind to her. I will show you her when she gets here. She's a little freaky, but we're gonna test her out. Okay, so the first creepy thing that I found was about these dolls crying blood. During my research for this video, I kept coming across something really creepy that was happening to people with their dolls. Apparently, the more that you used this doll, the more gross and like dingy it would become inside because you were constantly filling it with water. Some kids would even fill it up with like and other things. And it's impossible to actually clean out the inside of the doll. So all of this like gunk kind of starts piling up, which is really gross. So people were noticing that after years and years of owning this doll, instead of clear water coming out from its eyes, the tears got darker and darker, turning this almost brownish red color from the mold.
That's
from the
mold.
buildup. So it literally looked like this doll crying blood, which really freaked people out, obviously. And it didn't help that as the doll ages, the eyes begin to yellow and the paint starts chipping from its face. You know, the doll starts to begin looking like a full-out monster, and it's crying blood. This is obviously not a combination that you want to have, and I'm really hoping that my doll does not have this issue when it gets here, but it might make a good video. So I found this creepy story called Tears in the Night because, of course, any doll that I talk about, something has to happen in the night, right? I found this post from a woman that is now in her 70s, and she said that when she was little, she had one of these dolls and had the strangest thing happen to her when she was sleeping. Now, she always used to play with this doll during the day. She absolutely loved it. She took it with her everywhere. But at night, her mother would always make her bed when she was sleeping. And she always
Not the
slept with
pink
this doll
sink.
right
Come on
beside
now.
her. But she noticed that every night, long after she had fallen, she would wake up feeling like her pajamas were soaking wet. And she would see that her doll was very silently crying and the tears were almost pouring down her face. She'd always jump out of bed and tell her mother, and her mother would just get mad at her and blame her for not emptying her doll down the sink before she went to bed. But she knew that she did. She knew there was something else going on here.
That
Somehow
dog
her
peed
doll
on her.
was still crying in the middle of the
That
night.
doll did
So
something.
after was
Dog
happening,
pissed
she
on her
wasn't
and
allowed to
cried.
keep her doll in bed with her anymore. So she had to
Something. Oh my
Fuck
god.
that doll.
on the other side of the room. But in the morning, when she went to get her doll, she would always notice that her doll's clothes were damp, as if she was still sitting on that chair in the darkness, crying all through the night. So yeah, that's definitely very spooky. Would never want that to happen to me. And then I found another story. Ooh, it's called Dolls in the Garden. I found this story about a woman that had recently moved into a new house, and she was out in the yard one day trying to fix up the garden. The previous owners had left it an absolute mess, and she really wanted to plant some new flowers to bring like life to her house and to her backyard. And as she was digging, she noticed something very strange lying in the grass in front of her. When she got closer, she noticed that it was just a doll head lying in the grass and the dirt, and she instantly
What the hell?
recognized it as the Tears doll. There were weeds growing out through those two tear holes above the nose, and she
How was
looked
it
around
thrown
a bit more
away?
and found
Why would you
doll
keep
marks
that?
and legs in different areas of the backyard, and she found
Oh, it's
this really
dismembered.
odd. So she picked up
Somebody
the
had a
doll head,
crazy
ready to
little
bring it
brother,
inside
dude.
to dispose of it.
Somebody's little brother was messed up.
Somebody dismembered that doll and buried it all over the yard. That's crazy.
Somebody just decided, you know
Damn.
what? Bitch, fuck you and your doll, bitch.
Like, fuck
And
that
just
doll.
So you just want to, you don't want to like keep playing the video. You want to like see how you have it showing now, and then we pause it, then you play it. But you know, because they might, you don't want to get struck on this. But
They're like, fuck that doll.
yeah, Jesus, I don't like dolls.
I don't like dolls either. No, I'm not a big doll fan either. No,
What the heck?
yeah, I don't like dolls.
The mother
Well,
emptied
I
the
love
doll
dolls.
out.
No, hold on, Harlow. You can't say you don't like dolls when you're sitting there with a tiny tear doll. What the fuck you on about?
Yeah, get rid of that
You can't
thing,
say
please.
that.
No,
Jesus.
no, you're putting it on your side of the. I'm putting it on
No,
your
it ain't.
wall. Yes, yes.
Oh, freaking way.
No, seriously, I thought no. I've had that doll.
So it's
I'll put
Chris's
it
doll.
in, I'll put it in Scooter's bed.
That doll belonged to my sister, so there's no way I'm getting rid of it. But I've never put water in her. I've never done anything with her. But to get back to what Charlie
I've
was
never done
saying,
anything with the doll. Never done anything with her, I swear.
Jesus.
I've never put water in. We put water in her, and you press their stomach, and they cry tears. But I've never actually done.
Yeah.
Because she's too old, right?
Well, why would you? You're an adult.
To see if she cries blood.
Oh,
She's
that's
worth
mold.
money, so
That's mold, is what that
don't
is.
throw her
That's-
out. You know, somebody might buy her.
That's
But you know what? I'm
bacteria
going to
and
go back
mold.
to what Charlie was saying about how you could smell death in a room. That is that's true. And
Yeah.
it does have that metallic smell. And I'm going to tell you something else that was really creepy. And to this day, it really bothers me. And I don't know why, but because it's been so long, I really don't know why it still bothers me. But you know, after somebody dies, their eyes milk over. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
My husband's
Yep.
eyes did that while he was still alive. That last morning, that last day.
Wow.
And it was creepy to me. I look back on that now, and I even asked the nurse about it, and she kind of just shrugged her shoulders, and she said, "I've never seen it, but I mean, everybody's different." And I'm just like, "What do you mean you've never seen it?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean you've never seen it?" "Oh, well, honey, he's fighting death off so hard that, you know." So you're basically telling me that he's half dead, but he's just still holding on? Like, that has haunted me for 12 years.
Yeah,
That
but
really
that's not your burden though. He was
No.
fighting. You
Yeah,
get what
he
I'm
was-
saying?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing anybody could do. The nurses, there's nothing anybody medically could do to help him. He
No.
wanted to fight, and he fought till the end.
Yeah, he did.
You know, hold on to that. Don't think of the haunting negative. Hold on to the positive. He fought till the very end. He didn't die a bitch. Okay.
No, and
So-
I tell you another thing that happened when he died. People say that you can see his spirit come out of him. I felt him leave, and everybody else in the room felt a gush of air come through the living room, like somebody opened the door or a window or something, because I had these angels hanging on the Christmas tree. They all turned to him. It was the weirdest thing, and I kept them like that. I never turned them back, even when they were turned away from everybody. I never turned them away from him where he was. I know that sounds crazy, but I should have turned them back. But because they turned that way when he left this realm, I left him like that. It was crazy to me. So
I don't think it was
yeah.
crazy. I wouldn't have turned them either, and I'm
No.
gonna tell you why. Because it would have felt like, you know, you still have, even though it's morbid to think about that moment, that was your last moment with him.
I'm
You
telling
get
you,
what I mean?
yeah, it was. I mean, people when death brings out, people are like, that's morbid. I kept the clothes that he died in. That's morbid. All this stuff, and I have them all in a little box with his.
When you're
cigarettes
ready
and
to let
everything.
go of it, you will, or maybe you won't.
No,
ever
no,
let
I'm
go of
never
it.
gonna let go. I will
The
never let.
things, not that, but like
Everything
his
else.
things. When you'll do it when you want to.
Yeah, everything else I let go of, but there's certain things that I'm keeping. And sometimes when I really, really miss him, when I touch his things, it's like I can feel him. I can still smell him. I can
And
still
And I know
smell
what you
him.
mean. Like all
Because
of my
I can-
husband's clothes
I-
are in the
yeah.
garage, still hung up
Yeah.
in bags
Yeah.
in the garage. I mean, like,
Mhm.
and I don't know why. Me, the kids, we just haven't. I don't know. We haven't decided to just load the stuff up and donate. We haven't got there for some weird reason. It's just sitting out there for no reason, just sitting there.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Eventually, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk about this spring. I'm like, we need to do some stuff with this stuff. We need to do something because
Well,
it
I'll
can't sit
tell
here
you one
forever.
thing.
It
It'll
can't.
be therapeutic.
Like all
so,
these clothes sitting here forever. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, how ridiculous is that? We're gonna hang on to all his clothes forever. That's ridiculous. That's silliness, is what that is. Laziness. We need to get off our asses and do some spring cleaning.
Sometimes I wonder if
Laziness.
things that have attachments, like physical things that have attachment, is because there was so much love for the person that owned that thing. And then when that person that held on to that left this realm, it just kind of held on to to that artifact or whatever you want to call it, to that physical thing.
It helps bring back good memories.
So and I think about it. I think about one of these days, the stuff that I own, because I don't have children. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm gone, my stuff will just be scattered to the four winds, probably given up to Goodwill or something. And there's going to be
somebody else is going to clean up your shit. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, basically.
Some poor bastard's got to.
But what if they're like, they fall in love with something that was mine, that my body and my spirit loved, and I attach myself onto it, and I'm going to go haunt somebody? That's messed up.
You're going to be haunting some stranger. You're going to be haunting some motherfucker.
I'm going to be haunting somebody. If it's a dude,
I didn't want your Marilyn Monroe doll. No, I like Marilyn Monroe.
You know what?
It was haunted.
If it's a guy, I'm gonna, every time he tries to get it on with some chick, I'm gonna shove something up his ass and make him freak out.
She's got.
I think a lot of
she's
it
got a
for
Marilyn Monroe statue.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it for like me and the kids is that it's a lot of work to load everything up, take it somewhere, unload it. I mean, it's a lot of work to go through a deceased person's things and load it all up, take it to where it's a lot of work. It is. I mean, and I think that's a lot of it is that the kids don't want to do the work, and I don't want to do the work. I think it's a lot of it.
Yeah, the stuff that I have with Michael's, the stuff that I kept of Michael's, it's in a small box. I kept the clothes that he died in, his pajama pants, his boxers, his t-shirt. I kept his cigarettes. And I kept our love letters and cards and the stuff that we got for the walk, because we went to the cancer walk and did it together, did a survivor's walk and stuff like that. Everything that we had that was together between us, I kept all that personal stuff, and I keep it right there in that book or that box. Now, all his stuff, like his wallet, his hats, I kept one hat. But the rest of his hats, his clothes, everything went to his son when he turned 18. But I kept his clothes in a Ziploc bag. And to this day, I can open that bag and I can his scent is still on him.
Yeah, I'm going to get on the kids' butt this spring and be like, okay, we need to do something with this stuff. If there's something you want to keep it yourself. I've already got the stuff I want to keep. So it's like, there's no point in just, and we're not talking like mementos. We're talking like everyday clothes, socks, shoes. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no reason to have it out there. We've got to get off our asses. And
you'll find it therapeutic. You're going to find things and you say, oh, I remember when you would, fight over putting socks on or something,
Right.
Yeah.
I remember the time I went and picked those boxers up off the floor 15 times.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you felt him come to visit you, Bambi?
Man, I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that.
If it's too much to ask.
It's not too much. It's just like looking back on it now, I knew what was going on then. Mm-hmm. And it's really fucking weird. Like example, my girlfriend and I were hanging out. We spending the night. This is maybe a month after he died. Mm-hmm. And we walk into the kitchen and his insurance card's sitting on the floor. There's no reason for that card to be there. None. Zero fucking reason. None.
Yeah, like where'd it come from?
No explanation. And another instance, the whole family, my oldest daughter, and you can ask Cheyenne about it when you see her. We're all sitting in the living room. It was Thanksgiving, and a book went flying off the shelf. And it was weird because my daughter's boyfriend goes, "Hey, Chris, what's up?" Which was his name. And then another instance, this was all in like a couple months time span. This wasn't like every day. It's a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the phone. And do any of you Star Wars fans remember the Furbaka? The Furby that they made look like Chewbacca?
Yes.
Okay, I had gotten him one of those, and my son, because they're Star Wars nuts, one of those for Christmas, like 2 years ago, a couple years back. So I'm sitting in the living room, I'm on the phone, bunch of people in my living room, and this Furbaka just keeps going off for a good 10 minutes. And I knew what was going on, and I got so annoyed that I finally said, "Okay, Chris, you're not making me feel better, you're making me feel worse. Stop it." And then it stopped. And I got up and I'm on the phone. I'm looking at everybody in the living room and I'm like, watch. And I walked over. I picked up that Furby and I started shaking it. Wouldn't come on. Wouldn't come on. There were no batteries in it.
Wow.
And then there was another incident with a necklace that was his that disappeared. Just straight up. It was right on where it was 1 minute. The next morning, gone. Completely gone. Still to this day, I've not found it. It's not the end of the world, but I haven't found it. And at that point, I finally had enough. And I said, "Chris, you're dead. You need to go to the light. We don't need you here anymore." Because for me, it upset me. Not because he wasn't here. But when I think of ghosts and people being stuck here on Earth, to me, I think it's a form of hell. That they're stuck here. And I didn't want to think that one of my loved ones was stuck here. That they weren't in heaven, that they were stuck here, being forced to watch the world go by and unable to do anything about it. To me,
watch them grieve and all
that would be my hell. Like to die and be stuck here as a ghost, to have to watch everyone and everything and can't interact. That is hell to me. So it upset me to think that somebody I cared about was stuck here. And when I said that and did that, haven't had any more shit. Part of me feels kind of bad because it's like maybe I shouldn't have said that, because maybe that was his way of comforting us. But at the same time, nah, he needs to be in heaven. He doesn't need to be here. Nope. I can't have that. Cannot have somebody I love not in heaven. Can't have it. So
that happened to me because he told me before he died, he said, "If I can come back and I can tell you that I'm okay, I'm coming back and telling you." And a couple of different things happened to me, like a couple of people, and it wasn't just me. I never physically saw him with my own eyes awake. I dreamt about him, but he showed up to my sister. He showed himself to my sister one day, and he showed himself to my cousin. And him being on search and rescue, he was telling my cousin's husband how to stop her bleeding because she was hemorrhaging to death because she nicked an artery during a seizure and threw her arm through a window, and it nicked an artery and she's bleeding out. And he was standing there telling him how to wrap it to stop the blood. And Brian didn't even realize it because this was like a month after he died, and he didn't even realize it in the heat of the moment. So when they asked him what happened, he said, "Well, Michael," and he stopped in mid-sentence, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And they didn't tell me that for a month. They were afraid to tell me. But on Christmas Eve night, when the clock struck 12, his phone that had no battery and no SIMS card went off on the mantle. Woke my mom up because she was asleep on the couch because she was still staying with me after he died. And she started crying, and she said, "He's saying Merry Christmas." And then it happened again on New Year's Eve. And then it happened. I was grieving so bad. Like remember when I told you in Sisters in Grief, I would literally go sleep on his grave. It was during that period. I would take these voice recordings and I would try to catch them on EVPs. And I was sitting there. I was like, "Michael, are you with me?" And his voice came through and he said, "I'm always with you. Always." And that's what he would always say to me. That was our thing. And then one night, And this is where me and you always talk about, you got to be careful about opening that door.
Yeah.
Because the last night I ever did it was, I was like, is Michael, are you here? Da, da, da. And I kept getting all kinds of different voices coming through, and I was using a Frank's box that time.
Yeah.
And I said, Michael, I want to speak to my husband, Michael. Where is he? And this evil voice goes, he's in his grave. Like that. And I was like, nah, fuck that. And I said the Lord's Prayer and shut it down. And I took the stuff back to my uncle. And I said, I don't want
made you not want to use it again. That's for sure.
No, I didn't want to open it up anymore. But he hung around for a good 3 years. I always could tell when he was there. I could smell him.
Yeah.
That you could smell cigarettes burning in my house because he smoked. And I knew he was around about the 3.5 year mark. He left and he never came back.
Well, I mean, if it comforts you, that's a good thing. For me, it wasn't a comfort. For me, it broke my heart.
That's why he never showed himself to me, because he knows for a fact if he would have ever actually physically showed himself to me, like he did my sister and like he did my cousin, that I would want to go with him, and I would have done anything to go with him. And he knew that was going to hurt me worse, because that would have been like losing him all over again. And fuck that. That's why he never showed it to me. But you know, that man used to say, I'll stop loving you when the grass grows over my feet. And Bambi, I want you to know it has been going on 13 years and there isn't a blade of grass that has ever grown on his grave. I got pictures of it.
Wow.
My niece said, is it because of where he took those pills?
That's a special thing. I mean, you realize the stuff you're saying, that's a special thing. A lot of people will never experience that. That's a very special thing.
No.
You're very blessed.
No, my niece thought it was because of the chemo pills that they gave him where the grass won't grow. And I was like,
yeah, like your hair, right?
Yeah. She thought it killed the grass or something and made the ground all messed up where it couldn't grow anything.
You know, when you were talking about like, you don't know what you're going to bring in with those spirit boxes, that is true. But another thing to think about, and I thought about this myself. If I started to get, a box, if I started fucking around with this shit to try to talk to my dead husband, what if it turned into an addiction? What if I couldn't stop? What if that became my life and I descended into madness? That does happen to some people. They get so wrapped up in trying to contact their dead relative that they descend into madness. I mean,
that actually happened. That actually happened to a famous couple that did EVPs together. They were a married couple. And I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know what kind of evil presence it was, but it made him kill her, and then he killed himself. And they said that it was tied to a case that they were doing. So it just makes me wonder if something didn't drive them to madness.
It could be the obsession.
Yeah.
You got to think psychological obsession over, I love my dead so-and-so. I need to contact them. Some people, or think of it like this way. You know how some people stalk celebrities? They become obsessed and it drives them mad and they do crazy things.
Yep.
That can happen with anything. I mean, imagine somebody trying to contact their dead loved ones. How many stories have you guys heard of people going insane? And they always say, oh, they were in the cult. They were always trying to summon their dead husband, their dead kid, their dead whatever. And that could happen. You don't really have to worry about what you open up, but you got to make sure you don't descend into madness and the obsession of trying to contact the dead.
That is an amazing point.
Some people go crazy trying to fucking investigating this shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's very real. And I'm not saying they're possessed. I'm not saying it's a ghosting. I'm saying the mind is a very powerful thing, and obsessions can come in many different forms. Many different forms. Can't let any obsession overtake you, first off, no matter what it is. Can't let that overtake you.
You mean my obsession with Dr. Pepper's bed? No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm a Pepsi junkie. I'm a Pepsi junkie, so I feel you. Pepsi.
My obsession with pink and sparkles and old Hollywood.
Yeah. Would I ever rob a bank for some Pepsi? No. But, my obsession is real, though. The obsession's real.
I might smoke a bitch over something pink.
I don't get my Pepsi. I get kind of
I
bitchy.
can see Harlow living in a house that's just completely pink. Everything inside of it, car
Oh, yeah.
outside is pink. Just and she even tries to dye the grass pink.
Yeah, pink Chanel suit.
Oh, no,
Avon
don't
I've
give
lady.
me
never actually dyed my grass pink. But my house is pink. I have a pink car.
Oh, for fuck's
Um,
sakes.
Yeah,
I
well,
could-
it's not the only one, but yeah, my house is pink.
Now I'm obsessed with pink, but a different kind of pink. It's the singer pink.
Oh yeah, my house.
I love
Well,
her.
the rooms in my house, except for my kitchen. My kitchen is still is not pink yet, but I'm working on that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. But every room is a different shade of pink.
See, I love you, Harlow baby, but I can't stand that Pepto Bismol. Please tell me you ain't used that Pepto
Oh no, I
Bismol.
haven't used. No, I haven't used Pepto Bismol. It's called like tea rose, and this one color is like a real dark raspberry color. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
What does
Yeah, I
your
could-
obsession with pink come from?
I don't know. I think it's
You don't
just
I'm gonna have to
it's-
take her to a hypnotist.
I
it's
thought I'd
it's
ask.
my
I mean,
signature color. What do you want?
her colors are blush and bashful.
My colors, Mama, are blush and bashful. Okay.
I had to bring up
God.
a movie quote. I'm sorry, I had to do
Your
it.
colors are pink and pink. My
I'm being
colors are
haunted right
blush and
now,
white.
okay? I'm being haunted by a witch from fucking Detroit. I'm being haunted as we speak by the witch of Detroit, the witch of Del Rey. Haunting me ever
Jesus.
since I watched that goddamn video.
I'm
It's the last time I watched one of
I'm
those.
being haunted by that Taco Bell I ate yesterday. What the hell?
Yeah, you got a demon gonna come out of you later.
Okay, just because we're talking, just because we're talking haunted stuff, pull up the witch of Del Rey. Like, highlight their comment and look at that photo. Okay, that's the witch of Del Rey. Some witch in Detroit. She looks like a mean bitch, does she not? She looks like a mean.
Is that a real person?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the witch of Del Rey. That's a real person.
You
Yeah,
never
I'm being
heard that
haunted right
story?
now. Yes. Yes, that's her
She look
picture.
like she ain't got no D, and that's what's wrong
Mean
with her.
as
And that's
fuck.
why
She
she
looks
became
angry.
a witch. She
She's like she'll
angry.
kick, it looks like she's gonna like
Yeah.
yelling at the kids. How are you guys doing playing in your own yard? Get out of here. And she looks mean as hell.
But
She's
children
on-
like that.
She mad because she never got the big O.
Yeah, I watched a video
That's
and
what
they
it
think they
is.
got the picture of her in the window. They think it's the witch of Del Rey in the window of the video I was playing the other day. But that's her. I was like, the witch of Detroit. I've never even heard of the witch of Detroit.
Oh, that's where I saw him from watching that video. Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching that video, like
Oh my
found
God.
footage, creepy things on film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, right? She looks
Yeah,
mean.
I'm still like having nightmares of dyeing the grass pink now.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make
Hey.
Mr. Chris need therapy now.
You know
Be out
what?
there with spray paint.
Pink
Yeah, you know,
Pink is a very, very, very satisfying color. It brings you peace and harmony on the inside. All good things are pink.
you're making
Nipples
me
are
feel like shit
pink,
over here.
pussy's
My favorite
pink.
color is
Just
like
saying.
navy.
I'm just saying.
Navy, dark blue. You're making me feel like a piece of shit. You're
Purple,
like pink, and
purple.
I'm like, I like navy and midnight blue.
I
What does
like
that say
purple.
about me? That I'm depressing and dark? I mean,
You're all in
hell,
together.
Harlow, thanks a lot.
What you're gothic, Bambi. You're
Thanks.
gothic. You're
Yes.
gothic.
Don't
And the
be
funny
messing
thing
with
is
us
I'm still
gothic
not
people.
gothic. I'm not gothic at all. Like, not in the least bit. I think
Here's
all
the
that
thing,
gothic
Miss
stuff's
Mandy.
silly. No offense to anybody in the chat room, but
I used
I'm
to
not
get
into
accused of that. I used to get accused of being gothic because black is one of my favorite colors.
Mm.
And camouflage. But here's the crazy, and camouflage is a color. I don't care what nobody says. Anyway,
Yeah, but if it's camouflaged, how do you see it? That's what I'm saying.
but I used to get, I was always just a rocker chick. You know what I'm saying? Just a old
Oh yeah, me
school
too.
I'm not even a
rocker.
rocker chick. I wear a color of lipstick called Protector. It's like a dark, like brown.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, she's gothic with her black. I don't. It's not black. It's dark brown. First
I
off,
straight up wore black lipstick not too long
it's
ago
like
to a
it's not
Halloween thing.
gothic.
I wear it every Sunday.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wear,
see?
what do you wear every Sunday?
You know, it's like, fuck, I don't even dye my hair half blue anymore.
We are not talking about you putting on a dress and standing in front of the mirror with your little poodle
I'm
going,
so pretty.
Poke me hard.
And we're not,
No,
we doing
he's
some
going,
Buffalo
I'm
Bill
so
shit
pretty.
right now.
Oh, pretty. Oh, my. He's singing that thing. I'm so pretty.
I'm so pretty. Oh,
Oh,
so
you just wait till I
pretty.
get some wigs and send them. I'm gonna buy some wigs and send them to him, and then we're
Anger
gonna play.
Management. That was a good movie.
We're gonna play with the wigs on live. The many hairstyles of the Troc.
Yeah, that's right.
I can see this. You're gonna be sitting in a chair, and she's gonna put like 50 different kind of wigs on you, and styling them and everything, and then taking pictures of it.
As long as there's no glitter. I don't do glitter.
No, we're doing glitter. We're doing the glitter.
No, I have an OCD with glitter.
Everybody gets glitter. Everybody gets sparkles. You're gonna put on a dress.
And yes, I do have a green tank top on as well because you saw my video from earlier. I was wondering if you were going to say that. I was waiting for that answer. I was waiting for him to say you got a green and black tank top on.
Like, why do you?
Yes,
have to be
I do.
Bambi, like why? Why does Sisters in Grief have to be gothic?
I don't know. It has nothing to do with anything gothic. Like I said, it's an exclusive club that she's not a member of, and she can fuck off.
No, she can't even. She doesn't understand. So why don't she
come on to you, witch?
I got to get some more tank tops. I only have one right now, and
what?
Well, Harlow doesn't like it.
Did I just mishear what you
like
said?
A freaking moo-moo.
I think I'm like mishearing shit because I could have swore I heard Chris say I have to go get some morphine drops.
No, tank top.
Tank top.
What?
He's gonna get a tank. He's gonna put on a tank top.
Fucking A. I was like, what? He's gonna put on a tank top and a wig, right? And then he's gonna pull his kitty out like that.
Live.
I get it.
It looks like a moo-moo. Yeah. Your background is messing it up. They can't see it.
Oh, I can't see it.
I like it.
It might
too.
Bedtime.
Why are you hating? Quit hating.
It's got all kinds of roses, or not roses, but flowers on it.
A Hawaiian type thing. You know,
it's like a Hawaiian skull. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's got skulls on it. That's for fat people.
You don't. Well, you don't. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute, bitch.
Tell it, Charlie.
Okay, I worry about everything, child.
Oh shit!
So attacked right now.
Got the short. He's got the shorts that go with it. Charlie, he's got shorts that go with.
So the whole outfit.
I want to see you on the beach and that shit. I want to see you on the beach and that. Oh hell yeah!
Still as shit. Don't tell nobody.
I want to see that stuff.
You're gonna be having on like a red wig with some bangs.
You got the flip flops.
You're gonna look
the flip flops too.
You're gonna look fabulous. And then you're gonna do that gay. You're gonna do that voice that you do so well. It comes so easy that I don't get why.
You gotta have a cigar in your mouth and flip flops on as well. You gotta have the whole 9 yards.
And a fedora.
And a fedora. There you go.
Oh my god!
Gold chain. I just want to know where the gold chain is.
He got the gold chain. He got the gold pinky ring.
Trust me, my husband has a watch collection that's out this world, so I do know all about that.
He's got a Rolex. He's just got to put a new band on it.
We can get Chris to walk around the beach and be like, donate. You know, I used to be a wise guy. Donate. You can pull a pizza ploy. There you go. Got you.
No, that would be Bambi's word on the street. On the street, and he would be one of the people out there asking. So, what do you think about this bitch?
What do you think about this guy?
Oh Jesus!
I play a pizza video, and Chris would just lose it. He'd just lose it.
Beats.
Pizza family.
That's where I'm gonna be this next.
All right,
week.
play the Joey New York Shug video.
I'm gonna be in New York. I'm get me some pizza and bagels. What?
Now I'm telling you, that Joey Merlino Shug video was classic. That was
classic. It was shocking because I was like, was that? I still wonder if that was really him. Was that really him?
I don't think it was, but just Joey Merlino's response. He goes,
"Yeah,
who the hell was this guy?
I'm not going to Thailand with him.
You,
Frank." He's like, "Who's that guy?"
Why do you want to buy me a ticket to Thailand?
Now I know for a fact that cross that Tony Pizza was wearing, he bought that in one of those little those little things in the middle of the mall. That's
Kiosk.
not real. Yeah,
It
he
wasn't
bought
even
it.
a cross. It wasn't even a cross. It was like a biker cross type thing. It was-
That's a
Yeah, he
Maltese
bought that
cross.
thing at a kiosk. That wasn't even real gold. Shut up.
And he bought his girl one too. He bought
Yeah.
pizza
Oh,
wife
she
one too.
wearing kiosk jewelry too. Come on now.
Yeah,
Y'all
in
can
his
get that on
Steelers jersey.
Amazon for like $9. Maybe got it off Temu. Possibly Temu too.
Yeah.
They're dressing the same. They're dressing the same. The both of them.
Weird
Dressing the
flex,
same.
bro. Weird flex. You buying the jewelry off Temu on here going, ooh, try to flex.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a play on the Brady Bunch. It's gonna be the pizza bunch. I'm gonna do a
Oh,
play
boy.
on it and then show it. I'm gonna get off my lazy ass and make the pizza bunch
Hell
video.
no.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll throw some clips in there of him and the pizza family in the car.
I
Some
just,
other,
I,
you know.
I still can't get over the way he's smoking a cigarette in the car. He's got a little girl in the back seat. And then
Talking about lady boys.
the two of them were talking. I couldn't believe what they were saying in the car with the little girl in the back. The way
What
the
got me
language.
was
How
having
about the
a
fact that he wasn't
child.
even looking at the freaking road? What the
He was
hell?
having a child rep and prop up somebody who's a sex offender. He was having a kid shout out that dude. And I'm like,
Drop the link.
what
I just
in
accidentally
the world?
clicked Chris. I did not
God
mean to
damn
do
it.
that.
He's gonna
Drop
be
the
pissed.
link.
He's gonna be like, you did that shit on purpose. You're
I did
nasty
not.
hoe.
He knows I didn't do it on purpose because he knows that I'm like the StreamYard slow.
He comes up here calling you a nasty hoe. I can't say nothing. I gotta go
No,
quiet.
he's allowed to call me a nasty hoe.
Just
I'm
saying.
sorry.
Yeah.
Did you see that look on his face when he tried the camera on? He like,
Oh,
bitch.
shit. Yeah,
He
bitch,
said,
what
bitch.
the hell is wrong with you?
That was
What?
my fault. I'm sorry. I saw that look. You were giving me that.
That's the
No,
I'm
I
gonna slap you
figured
in the
you were
mouth
trying
look. You just
I was thinking-
disrespected me look. That's what that is.
No, I figured she was trying to remove the other, trying to share a thing on shadow people, but
Shadow.
No, I wasn't.
she must have
wasn't doing
removed me.
Now
My
she accidentally
bad.
kicked you.
I'm so sorry.
She accidentally kicked you, yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
Well, she accidentally kicks me always. It's like on purpose.
Well, she got excited over the pizza bunch video. You know?
I'd rather get kicked than hit with the frying pan. That thing's starting.
And the
There you
kiosk
go.
story.
There you go.
Why?
Well, you know what you do? You have her up on your show and then you kick her. There you go. Even Steven.
Are
You know
kidding?
what?
Do you want me to die?
You know what? I have pink pots and pans. That's no lie. I have
Hey,
pink
I'm
pots
trying
and pans.
here. Trying to help you out here. I'm trying.
I have
Trying my
pink
best.
pots and pans, and he's gonna he's gonna beat with them. I'm telling you.
Pink. And let me guess, you probably got pink tools too, right? Pink hammer.
Absolutely. I got a pink
Cleavers.
toaster. I got a pink.
Fucking A, I knew it. I knew it.
Cleaver.
I got a Keurig.
A pink coffee maker. I got a pink.
Yeah, pink Keurig. Yep.
Oh
I knew
my
it.
I got a
gosh.
pink.
I got a blue Keurig.
Crock
You got a
pot. I got a
pink
pink
obsession.
crock pot.
I'm surprised the dog isn't pink.
My washer and dryer is
Surprise
pink.
you. Your washer and dryer is pink.
If
Is your
she
stove
could
pink?
die,
What about your
everything
microwave? Is that
would
pink?
be pink.
Oh my God. Should we tell the funny story of how you got stuck in the washer?
Yeah, stuck
Can
in the
you just
washer.
not- Could you just hush?
How do you get
Okay.
stuck in the
It
washer?
was
Go
funny
ahead,
as
tell
hell.
the story because I gotta pee.
Stuck in the washer.
It was funny as hell.
As an adult or as a kid?
No.
No,
Listen.
it just
Because
happened like
she's
a month ago.
woman,
If that's an adult, how the hell do you get stuck in the washer as an adult?
she was trying to reach in there and she fell inside the damn wash.
Jesus
Feeling
Christ,
it
how
out.
big is this washer?
You know the ones that don't have the spindle in the middle, you know? So
Yeah, big and how in the hell?
I don't know.
I could see her legs up in the air, and she's trying to.
Yeah,
like,
I
jump.
can totally see that.
She got to
Like,
be
yeah.
real short. She got to be real short.
Oh, she's only 5'1", so I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's real easy for her. All she got to do is. put her head in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, could
When
I
you're
get
big
stuck in the
chested,
washer?
you know,
I'm
it's,
thinking if my
you know.
feet go off the ground, I get low enough in the washer, I'm fucked because I'm like 5'2". So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you little
see
too.
that.
You got to be careful. See, I'm 5'6",
Yeah, I
almost
see that.
5'7", so I'm
Yeah.
good. I can still do the
I
thing
can-
where I
I can-
kind of
yeah,
lean
I
back
see
a
that.
little. I
Well,
can
the
lean
big-
back.
The big boobs didn't help. You know, they got stuck in
No,
there.
no.
Oh, please.
I
Oh,
know.
my God. It was
I don't
funny.
know.
I
No.
just had a thought process of her trying to pull a boob out, and it's like stuck along the edge.
No, shit.
Exactly. Oh,
Like,
she'll
ow,
tell you.
ow.
Oh, my God.
And then she gets knocked out by the boob,
I-
hit her in the
I,
eyeball.
I can't make it up. I can't.
Can't.
You can't. It's
No, no.
help. He's going to help.
That's horrible. I don't be making fun of her. That's not right. Did you pull her out of the washer at least? Did you help her?
I won't go into what happened, but
Fucking Chris over here laughing. I'm supposed to get ask Cameron like live stream it. Be like Harlow stuck. Ha.
That's what they said. I said we gotta do this purposely one time and just get it on video. It'd be a good shot at least.
You're a twisted man, aren't you? You got some.
I don't know. I might laugh because I know her and I know how clumsy she is.
Yeah.
Right.
And we love her clumsiness, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had a good video on shadow people, but I
Oh
guess
shit.
it's too scary for her.
Too scary?
I
don't
will
know,
say
she
this:
kicked
my
it off.
husband had an experience with shadow people when he was like little. He's told me about it. He saw them, like he would see things run out of the corner of his eye, like across like a doorway, right? And he as a kid obviously would try to go in the room and look to see if anybody was there, and nobody was there. And that used to scare the shit out of him as a kid. Talking about the shadow people used to see.
Yeah,
when you were
I
little?
see it still. I have peripheral vision, and every now and then you see things walking.
Christopher, did
guys,
you show that picture of me stuck in the washing machine?
No, I didn't
What do you
show
guys?
anything.
What do you guys think of Black Eyed Kids? I did a stream on
Oh,
Black
look
Eyed
at the
Kids.
kitty.
That's bad.
Aw. What do you think? I mean, what do you think they're fake? Do you think it's been debunked? Do you think they're real? Black Eyed
What,
Kids.
the Black Eyed Kids?
Yeah, the Black Eyed Kids.
That stuff's scary because, like,
Creepy.
No, I've
Yeah.
never actually seen anything on it, and I'd have to look into it.
you need to. That is creepy.
I did, like I said, I did a stream on Black Eyed Kids, and I've heard stories that it's a myth. I've heard some
Is
compelling
it a
stories
part
that
of a
seem like it
shadow
could be
person?
real.
Is it like
No.
shadow people?
Like
or-
what happens is these kids will come to your door or your car and, hey, can I get a ride? Hey, can I come in and use your phone? And they usually have hoodies up. You can't really see their faces, and if you do see their faces, they're very pale. And if you don't, and like everybody that has encounters with them gets a very bad, eerie feeling. It's just a bad feeling. And
What
if
the
you don't let
hell?
them in, they start demanding, let me in the car. Let me use your phone. Demanding. Like one case, a woman, they were knocking on the windows and doors, demanding to be let in.
Don't
And
let
they
them
said when
in.
they look at their faces, their eyes are completely black.
Are
like
they
Black-Eyed
demons?
Kids.
Are they
Should look it
demons?
up.
Their pupils are black, black, black. You got to see
Nobody
it. I've seen-
knows. They don't know if
Yeah.
they're demons because no one's ever let them in. And if anybody has let them in, no one's ever told the tale. We don't know. We have
See
no
if I
idea what
can
the fuck
find
they
it.
are. Could be a
Just
myth.
minute.
Who the hell knows for sure? I
Have you
mean,
guys ever watched any of the videos about the like, you know, the guys that drive Ubers and stuff like that? And they pick these people up and they have cameras in their cars. There's video like caught on tape videos of paranormal stuff. And the guy's like asking him, like, you could see the door open, the door closes. He's clearly talking to someone and they're saying where they want to go. So he takes off. And then he notices there's no one in the car when
Yeah,
he
I've
gets
seen
to the
some of those.
destination. That is messed up.
Well, you
But
know,
I
there's
always-
a lot of those. They call them like they have the ladies in white or women in white.
Yeah.
They have a lot of those along a lot of highways. That there's like hitchhikers, and if you
Yeah.
pick them up, you'll go down a little way. Some people, the different stories of different. Either they
Yeah,
vanish.
it's so hard. It's like, how do you determine the telephone game, the wise tales from actual facts? Because every town's got a lady in white. Every goddamn town. Every town.
Mhm.
You can't tell me that they're. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's the ones we can prove with like historical facts.
yeah, like the historical stuff,
Um,
sure, but like a lot of this shit, I think is tall tales, like urban legend. Oh, this guy
But
said
like
he
the
saw
You know what
something.
I
six-legged
think we
woman.
should
The
do? I think we should.
six-legged woman is a tall tale in my area, right? It's called the six-legged woman. It's about a supposed witch. People see her. There's a story behind it, right? And obviously, if you go
I'll
up
be right
these
back.
certain train tracks, right? And I mean, every town has their urban legends, right? Mississippi has a bunch of them if you
Yep.
look into it. But I will tell you that Bigfoot is real, for real, real, real.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that because
He
I've
ain't no
seen him.
joke.
He's
Because
my
my
cousin.
uncle Lulu shot him, for real. And he attacked my daddy, and my uncle went to Texarkana, Texas, They
Oh
went to
my
Texarkana,
God.
and they literally, he attacked the crap out of them. And my uncle came out of them woods whiter than a ghost, and still to this day will not speak about what he saw. My dad could be Bigfoot now, Mr. Chris. Now I'm gonna tell you that my daddy's 6 foot, almost 6'5", and he 300 pounds. He a big old man. If we put that suit on him, people would swear up and down he Bigfoot.
Well, some of them are taller than that. Some of them are 8-9 feet tall. Some bitches.
I think that our
I
next
had-
show that we do on paranormal, I think it should be on urban legends.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I got a story behind that. I had one come up in my backyard, and the reason I'll tell you this, and it smelled like a skunk mixed with musk. It was
They
like
stink.
the awfulest
They
smell.
stink.
I had
Yeah.
about 30 ducks at the time. I had a lake. I had a lake in my backyard. I still own that lake. I just don't live there anymore. And I was like, where the crap is all my ducks? I called them for their feed time. I couldn't find them. I go look, see, my dog had passed away in the backyard because something had scared him, literally to death. Like literally scared him too. And he,
Oh
I mean,
my God.
and I
right.
went back there after he passed. I let the grass grow up around where his house was, and I didn't cut it for a while. And I went back there and I looked in his old doghouse. All I found of my ducks was their wingspan, and that the wings had been ripped out, not cut out, ripped out. And I didn't find the beak, the feet, nothing. If it had been a wild animal, I would have found that stuff, right? I didn't find no feathers tore off, nothing, just the wings stuffed in the doghouse.
Dang.
About 30
Jesus.
ducks at one time. Now tell me how something could catch that many at one time. No human can do that. And all I found was wings. That's it. Like it had ripped them square out of their body and just threw them in there because he didn't want to deal with them, and he just carried them off. Now, after they put the two houses, that used to be back behind my land, used to be nothing but trees all the way to the creek, right?
Mhm.
All the way to the creek, wasn't nothing but trees, wasn't nothing but fields. But eventually they cleared out an area and they put houses there. When they put those houses there, I stopped having those experiences.
What the hell?
Okay, my old house is over 7 foot off the ground. My dad couldn't even touch the window with his fingertips. And I told you, my dad's 6'5", so you can imagine how long his fingertip reach is, right?
Yeah.
I was laying in bed one night watching TV. I was going to college at the time, so I would stay up later than everybody else. It was like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I look over and I see the shadow of a head. There is no possible way. We had a light back there, but it would shine downward, right? Not upward.
Yeah.
And somehow I saw a shadow, and then I heard a knocking on the side of the house.
Yeah.
And
they
I
do
freaked
that.
out, and I was like, oh, and the very next day, Mr. Chris, was when I found the wings and smelt that smell that I was talking about.
Wow.
I was like,
probably trying to thank you for the ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, he stole all my ducks, which was sad
Yeah.
because I
There's
had
a
them
lady
You know
in,
what? Do you think
the-
that's what it was? You think he was trying to say thank you for because
Well,
he
I
thought
don't
they
know.
would eat?
I don't know. I don't know what he wanted, but I wasn't messing
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, they do that. They look in
I
the
don't think that
windows.
they'll hurt you. I think that they're absolute. I think they're
think-
very sweet,
Yeah.
natured things.
There's a lady
I
in
think they're a wild
Carolina. Yeah,
You think they're wild?
There's been a documented sighting in Carolina where this lady, she's sitting in her house, and he comes up to the window. He just stares in the house.
You got slapped. Wait a minute. He got
And
slapped
he's
by
big.
a
He's
lady.
tall and wide. Yep.
He said he got slapped by a lady that wasn't there. Now that's messed up. What'd you do to her?
That happens to me all the time.
What'd you touch her at? What'd you say? She was pretty? Is that what happened?
I don't know, but have you ever heard of ghosts raping people? Because that's a thing.
Yes.
I've
Yep.
heard stories
happened
of
to my
that.
mom.
I've heard stories. I've never experienced it myself, nor do I want to.
My mom has told me this story. We lived in this one house. I
Thank you,
obviously was
Dad.
too young to remember. I remember a little bit about this house, and I was a baby because it scared me so bad. Like I was only like a year old, and I have this memory of this house just because I was deathly afraid of the back room. That's all I can remember. I can remember the kitchen area because my mom used to set me on a pallet when she would do her stuff in the kitchen. I'd just be sitting there playing with my toys, right? And one day all the dishes came out of the cabinets and they all slung all over the floor, and it scared me so bad that I remember that, right? It was like, so like, I don't know about y'all, but if you remember your earliest memories, it was some kind of strong emotional thing that kept you to remember it, right? But there was a curtain in the bedroom, and they had 16 penny nails holding the curtain down. And my mom didn't know why. She took the nails out of the bottom of it so that she could open up the curtains. She didn't know. That night, the curtains wrapped around her arms and her legs, and let's just say tried to, and my mom screamed, and the only thing that says my dad pulled her away. And my mom told my dad that morning, she said, I'm leaving here. I'll leave you a note where I'll be. My mom moved the entire house. Us kids had everything set up. By the time my dad got off work and left him a note of where she was at, she was gone the very next day.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I got that black-eyed children thing I'm trying to present. I don't know if you want to see it, but a little something about that.
Oh, I like that. I like that picture. Let me show y'all some of my pictures. I got different pictures too. They're all of me and
Oh, don't get me started.
Who is somebody named Beth smacks you, Christopher? Who pretty?
Oh, here's the last Halloween
Beth?
I did. Halloween before last, I did this for a friend of mine for her YouTube thing. I was the ghost of Charlie's past because I got roasted down.
Oh my God. Oh no, he did not put up the pube wigs.
Dude,
Get the hell out of here.
that fucking Muppet avatar Beaker about had me just now.
Oh, that's my favorite
When I
one.
said that, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's my favorite one. Then we got Chef.
That's great.
We got a little helmet.
Oh, show him Scooter.
Well, I figured I should turn into my Bambi After Dark avatar since I'm After Dark. So figured I must switch it up.
Scooter.
Show
you got
Scooter.
the movie? Oh, I gotta get it.
You gotta play
That's
it.
a
We
good
can't
one.
play it.
Yeah.
And make sure you
look,
freaking stop it every now and again so I don't get struck.
Yeah, you can talk. Here's my missing bird. Oh wait. All right. I'll do that later. Hold on. I'll play this now. Hold on.
You're missing the bird that you killed.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, that's just a Halloween that I use
like that
when it's
one.
Halloween. It's
There's
Halloween.
There's
I
no
love
Santa.
Halloween.
That's me
Hell
naturally.
no.
No makeup. Look, I have no makeup on.
Oh yeah, I've seen this documentary of the Black Eyed Kids. Pretty creepy stuff.
So these kids just walk up to the freaking car and just.
Yeah. And they look like young teenagers, not like old
Why
kids.
is there no sound, Chris?
And they
You don't
they
hear the
ask to be
sound?
let into your car.
Yeah, we
No,
Or
can
ask
hear
to be
it.
let into
Justin.
your house. And then if you tell them no, they get pissed off and they demand it. Let
Well,
me in.
that's
let me
freaking
in,
weird.
Don't
let me in.
ever let them in, pretty much.
I wouldn't let
No,
no
don't
little.
let them in.
Hey,
Here's
Dom.
the sound.
Hey, I wouldn't let
Hi.
no demanding little bastard get their way either. Be like, get the fuck out of my court. Little bastard,
Here's
go
the-
home. Go home to your
Here's the
parents. Get
sound.
out of here.
There's
Get the
my
sound
Casper
clip.
realness.
Nice.
I'm so white I could blend in with the wall.
My question in the chat was for Chris. You were talking about a lady that saw a tall man come to his window. Was that Beth? Adventures with Haunted Beth?
Yeah, it was about Sasquatch though. It was one about a big.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the place I was talking about that I got slapped by a lady that was not there was at that house.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Okay, so if you go into my videos, you'll see me. You'll see me, and you'll see I investigated that place. I went there 2 times, and that place is fucking haunted. The house, the backyard, the woods in the back. There's something there. Like I said, I got slapped by a lady,
So it
but
must be
also
a
in the
shapeshifter.
woods. Also in the
Yeah.
woods, I was in the middle of the field alone. All right. I was asking questions, and right in front of me, you can see a dark wood, and there was a loud crash in it. So I'm going, I'm not from here. I don't know what's in the woods, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I backed up, coming back to the house, and I had a ghost box running. So I was asking the ghost box, I go, what the hell was in the woods? The answer we got on the ghost box is werewolf.
It's
Oh,
gotta be a
werewolf.
shape.
shit.
It must be a shapeshifter or something. Then, 'cause-
Werewolf.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
I 2 weeks after that, I left, and they sent me a video. They found something climbing up the trees. It was huge, had a tail, looked like a monkey, but was too tall to be a monkey.
Huh.
Was it Chupacabra?
Well,
No,
Harlow
I
says-
think I think more into that there's a cryptid out there called the devil monkey.
Yeah, I was
Devil
just gonna
monkey.
say because Harlow was telling me about this Kentucky Devil thing.
Mhm.
And I never heard of that,
Really?
so I was like,
Yep,
oh,
the
Me
that's-
Kentucky
neither. I
Devil.
have no
Me,
idea what you're talking about.
me and my late
So
husband
so
saw him.
one night I'm sitting at the table trying to have a meal, and all of a sudden, you know, when somebody comes behind you, you can see like a shadow like casting around you.
Mhm.
So I'm taking a bite. I'm sitting at the table, and there's a big window behind me. So I'm sitting there eating, and all of a sudden you can see that big shadow like go through me. See, I go around to look who's in the back in the yard, and all you could see the shadow I saw was taller than the windows. I could see like his chest at the end of the top window.
Mm.
So when
Wow.
they do talk about that tall man, he does exist. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he does exist.
Exactly.
Right.
In the house, you could be sitting there and you could see Civil War soldiers passing through the house. So yeah, so when you said that story, it went, oh, that's Beth's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. Been to also Bentonville. Bentonville is right next to that house. It was actually the last standing of the Confederate army. It was as worse as Gettysburg, but less talked about because it was the end of the war. 2 weeks after, you know what happened? They seceded and whatever the history that came out of that. But I was in a house. It's a farmhouse that was there during that battle. And what's funny, the battle occurred the day of my birthday. So I went into that house, you know, to go see the house was transformed as the hospital house. So they're, you know, small things. They're explaining stuff in it. All of a sudden, they let us roam in the house for a couple of minutes and stuff like that. So I'm roaming in the house. So I go upstairs. I go to a room, and I started feeling like not good. Like I want to throw up. So I started coming down the stairs, and while coming down the stairs, I could feel it. Well, not feel, taste lead and blood inside my mouth. All of a sudden, I had a big pain in the back of my head. I went out, and obviously when I got out of the house, started puking and stuff like that. Came back into the house, continuing my tour. I was asking questions on the room I just visited, and they explained to me that a soldier had passed there. He was shot behind the head. He was in that room. So yeah, it was quite special. I have a couple of pictures. Bambi, I'll send you the pictures so you can see them of that house.
Yeah, cool. Definitely.
There's actually a soldier. There's a story about the house. The owners of the house actually had two sons. They were fighting for the Confederates side, but the first hospital that was put in the house was Union, and they were living on top on the top floor while they had all sorts of soldiers and stuff like that. One of the soldiers lost his arm. They cut his arm. He survived everything that he could, but he was spending days after days trying to find his arm back to get it put back on. I actually have a picture of a ghost soldier leaning on a tree right at the spot where he used to hang out.
Dang.
I'll send it to Bambi. I'm also a ghost tour. I do ghost tours in a city. It's 45 minutes per here. It's Montreal. It's a big city in Canada. I do ghost tours over there. We do the old Montreal stuff like that. We also have the most haunted mountain in North America.
Yeah. Now that the one with the soldiers, that was in what, Pennsylvania?
No, North Carolina.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, North Carolina, that place is haunted. As a lot of places there are haunted because of the Civil War and such.
Right.
Well, I tell you,
There's a lot of battles fought there.
Well, actually, the house was not built. It's like a trailer house, if you want. It was put on a piece of land that was, once the war had finished, became tobacco and cotton land. So the fields, like I said before, I was saying at the beginning, I was standing in the middle of the field. So that field was actually a battlefield and a retreat battlefield. Right. So it saw 2 wars in a couple of days on that part, and some soldiers had passed away. There's also a family buried on there, so there's actually a small cemetery on that field. And there's actually it's a gentleman. He's a slave. He actually, you can see him sometimes. He actually has a carriage in his hands, and you can see limbs and stuff coming out of that carriage when he passes.
Oh my God.
Also, I just subscribed to Investigation on 13.
Oh, much thanks. Also over there, I actually have. How much places do you know that they do in the States that they do speak French? Not many, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah, but okay. So I went to Gettysburg.
Louisiana.
I went to Gettysburg. I was on the battlefield doing an investigation, and all of a sudden, a lady came to me and spoke to me in French. I'm talking about a lady spirit. You can hear it clearly say hi, which in French is bonjour. Clearly answer a couple of questions in French. I'm going like, wow, this is special. I've been to Gettysburg a couple of times, so never had French spoken to me over there. So when I was in North Carolina, I had the same thing spoken to me, but it was a French. It was a slave French. So they were asking me for chicken. They call me by my name. And when I say my name, they call me by my full name. So my first name, my last name. After that, they called my team, which at the time was called 13 Spirits. You can clearly hear on the ghost box 13 Spirits. The video's online if you want to go see it. It's on my channel. You'll see also when not to be started. Some of my investigations will be in English and some will be in French, but some are mixed also French and English. So when I do speak French, I'll repeat in English, or I said it before in English.
Yeah.
So I say it in French. So yeah.
You speak like Creole as well? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. Right.
Okay, so basically, I'm fucked up.
Oh, we all are. I get it. That's fine.
My mother, my grandparents, my grandparents on my mother's side are Mohawk, and on my father's side they're Italian. So I have both bloods inside me.
Right. Your blood boils. Your blood boils like mine.
Yeah.
I mix with a little everything, child. I don't even know everything. I done got to the point I only know like one side definite, the other one halfway. We just found out my grandmother ain't really my grandmother and the whole family secret thing. So, child, I could have anything in me. I don't even know anymore.
It's like it's like I'm a mutt. That's what I tell people.
So when at the age of 6, my parents got divorced. It happens. Stuff happens. So my mother, a couple of years after, met a Haitian guy. She got married with that guy, and was still married till she passed away with that guy. So I got raised a little bit on the Italian side with my grandmother, but on the other side, a little bit of mix of Mohawk, Haitian. So I'm a little bit fucked up. That's why
I
I'm
can
saying
hear
that.
the Haitian come out of you every once in a while when you say "mutta."
Yeah.
The way, yeah, in certain words. A lot of
I
people
do.
in
I do have
Florida.
an accent. I do have an accent. Yeah, I know.
I'm getting like a like almost like a French Canadian accent for some reason.
Well, presently, I was born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario, but presently I live in Quebec, Canada. So yeah, it's a French fucking state, fucking racist. State. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
Sorry,
that's fine. I got friends from Ontario. I can totally hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not one of those crazy Canadians. He's actually normal.
Yeah. Thank you. So I do speak a lot of French. So some of my tours are in French, and some of my tours are in English, stuff like that. When I do ghost tours in Montreal, I bring people around to haunted places, do investigations, teach them how to use the equipment, and
You're on a
just
TV
ghost
show?
hunt. So
TV
yeah,
show?
I did a TV show just recently on the 16th of January. It's a French TV show. Obviously, you can put it in subtitles in English. I could share you the link. It talks about my house. One of the episodes talks about my house. My house is haunted where I live presently. In 1963, 2 weeks after Mr. John Kennedy got shot in Dallas, a plane crash occurred here in Canada, in Quebec, Canada, which is my house is built on top of that plane crash. 118 people passed away there. 111 passengers, 7 crew members passed away. The plane was a DC-8 from Trans Air Canada. So at 8:15 on the 29th of November, the plane crashed down. So yeah. So my house is haunted, and that story is a little bit about the TV show is about kids and paranormal. So basically, you'll see 2 of my daughters in that episode talking about their paranormal experience, but you'll also see my ugly mug talking about talking about my kids and different things about the house. You'll see a small report of that. But if you go on my page, on my YouTube page, you'll see a small snippets video. I did a song. The song, obviously, it's in French. I wrote the lyrics. I do not sing, so I used AI to help me build the song. But the lyrics are from me. A little bit of the emotions and stuff about the plane crash, but right after that song, if you skip the French part, if you don't want to listen to it, you'll have a small clip about 15 minutes about the story about the plane crash in my house. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry, I'm taking.
That's awesome.
When it comes to paranormal, I'm very passionate.
You're my
about
expert, yeah.
No, I don't call myself. Hold on, I don't call myself an expert. I call myself a student because every single day we learn new stuff in that.
No, I get that 100%. I just call you my pizza-verse ghost expert. But
Cool.
yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
No, I understand. A lot of people, even when I do radio shows, because I do a lot of radio shows here in Quebec, I hate that when they do that. They call me experts, but a lot of people will try to shoot you, get your ass up, saying you're not an expert. So I rectified the shot every single time, saying I'm a student. No, K-Fam, never been to Tennessee. It's a dream of mine to be there. I like to travel a lot on the road to explore new places, but not just the paranormal side. I like also the history side of the places. Doesn't mean it has to be haunted, but if it has history, I will travel to those places to see those places. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to do that. So. Hold on. I have to get my dog in. He's barking. So give me a couple of seconds. I'll be back.
So everyone, sub up to Investigations 13. I put his link in the chat. Feel free to sub and hit the like.
The police.
I touched all the buttons.
The cop. Yep. The police. Exactly. And Judge knew I was going with that.
You know what? When you were talking about how North Carolina is so haunted, just think of it now after Hurricane Helene. How haunted those hills up there are going to be. With all them people that got killed in them floods.
I think how fucked up Louisiana is. Look how fucked up Louisiana is.
Well, Louisiana was fucked up to begin with, but Jesus Christ. Now, I mean, because Louisiana's flooded before. This part of North Carolina has never flooded before. So you think these people that died is such a tragic way. And just, I mean, and something that was never even heard of, ever happening. You know, and just, that stuff is going to freaking, that there's going to be some residual as well as just hauntings of people that were just taken too soon.
Possibly, yeah.
Taken out of here, man. That's crazy. I never.
What do you do about it? I mean, what can you do about it?
There's nothing you can do. I mean, I never even thought about it till she said something, and I'm thinking, oh man, after Hurricane Helene, imagine the spirits that's going to bring in, because it's always the tragedies that bring.
I try to tell. When I deal with ghosts, I try to tell them. First thing I try to say is, "Go to the light."
Yeah,
you're dead. Get the fuck out of here. I'm living. Go away. Go to the light. Go to the light. Go to the light.
Yeah.
I mean, no, like sometimes you got, like I was telling Dom, sometimes you got to pull the bully method. You know, you can't let, you gotta be like, go fuck yourself. I'm living. You're not bullying me. Dead thing. Go away. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to pull the bully method. You can't always pull the nice method because not everything on the other side is nice. And some of that shit, they'll bully the fuck out of you if you let it.
Yeah, they will.
You can't let them bully you.
Yeah. I usually say some old prayers in Arabic and they disappear real quick.
He said, my future ex-girlfriend is haunting me.
Well, tell her to get her ass to the fucking light. You tell her to get the fuck out. Be like, get to the light.
You kicked her out. That's why.
Your shit. Get out of here. Fuck out of here. I ain't got time for you. Go. Ain't got time for that.
Baby or baby doll.
Yeah. No, but they do say, all serious, they do say if you have spirits like that, if you just tell them, go to your loved ones, go to the light, they should, they'll disappear.
Yeah, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a case by case basis. I mean, honestly, sometimes that shit works. Otherwise, sometimes they're like, go fuck yourself, and then they throw a lamp at you.
Yeah, it could be
sometimes they're assholes.
Yeah, it just all depends.
They throw a lamp at you, and then the next day you're like, somebody will be like, damn, what happened to you? Oh, this dead motherfucker wouldn't leave my house. He threw a lamp at me. I mean, can you imagine that conversation?
I keep sitting in my recliner with fucking cigarette smoke, and I don't even smoke cigars, filling up my goddamn house, throwing shit. Had enough of this guy. He's get the hell out of here. Enough.
I'm back.
That one time he left the seat up on the toilet and I fell in.
Yeah, it's like, I got enough of this shit.
Bro. Oh my God.
Keeps giving the evil eye to the dog, and the dog won't shut the hell up.
That happened to me one time. One time, and I took an 8-gallon bucket and took it outside, filled it up with the water hose, took it upstairs, and dumped it all over my ex. Son of a bitch. And then I went and took a shower.
I mean, because if you think about it, I don't want to say we're helpless. I don't want to say that, but in reality, we kind of are at the whim of dead things.
Yeah.
Like we are in a way helpless because we think we know what to do, but that doesn't always work because we don't really know. It's a lot of educated guessing. We think, but we don't know. Possibly, we have no idea. So
it's a possibility.
Well, I mean, think about it. EVPs. Well, we think the spirits are able to manipulate electronics because they don't have vocal cords because they're dead, because that's a physical thing. So we think that's what's going on, but there's no way to actually prove it.
Yeah, well, explain to me how that dead bitch with no head was screaming. I want to know.
Well, maybe she manipulated the radio waves, or maybe it was an electronic fluctuation because it scans through radio channels and picks up certain words. Maybe it picked up a scream. See, I'm thinking
100%.
logically. You know, I'm always trying to find
I
a
think
logical.
I
I
think
think it was
that
a ghost, but I'm trying to be logical here. I think it was a ghost. I have no idea how it screamed. No clue.
I
No
think that
idea.
I think that that stuff like that, you know, a tragic event like that, I think it gets embedded, especially if there's quartz around. If there's quartz in the ground, it's like a recorder. And I think it gets embedded in the land and it just kind of repeats.
So like a loop. Like a loop.
It's like a
They're
loop.
reliving their
I don't
death.
even
Their
think
wife
that they
screaming.
know.
A loop.
They're not. I don't think they're not even aware that they're not there. It's just a recording that just continuously keeps playing.
I don't know. I sometimes wonder if some of these spirits, if they're not reliving their death, they're not reliving something.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in some cases, and I've asked this question before, when the ghosts are looking at their house, is it the house in the 1800s, or are they looking at modern day?
I would really like to know that too.
Are they seeing things in modern day time, or are they still stuck in the past? And
Well,
they're
I'd
seeing the past,
say if
and
it's
that's why they do
residual,
fucked up shit.
if it's residual haunting, they're seeing it from back then. But if
Yeah.
they are aware, they're seeing it for now.
I mean, I think it probably just depends on the. I hate to use the word intelligence, but the intelligence of the specter, I guess, possibly, for lack of better words. I don't know, Dom. What do you think?
I will say that kind of makes me think of the movie with
Sorry?
Nicole Kidman.
What do you think? Yeah, like the movie The Others, where they were still stuck kind of somewhat in the past, I guess.
They were stuck in the 20s, then early, was it early 20s? And then
I don't know, there's some war going on because her husband went away to war and
it was like
never returned.
Yeah, it was like 1900s.
Yeah. So it's
And
like,
then-
are the ghosts seeing their house? Like, I move into a house and say some asshole died in like 1960. That this dude wants to hang around in the house. Is he seeing the house in 1960 or is he seeing the house in 2025?
He's seeing, they're seeing, well, hold on. Some of the spirits will see as it was when they left this place, and some will see the changes, because when you do ask questions, do you like the renovations in the house? Do you like the way the house is now as it is? Some will respond saying, yes, I'm happy. No, I don't like it. I don't like the color. I don't like the divisions you made extra, stuff like that.
Well, it's my house now. Fuck off. It's my house now. I'll do what I want.
Basically, that's what we do when we do private investigations. We tend to bring the people to come to an understanding with the spirits.
Gotcha.
To explain to them, instead of having fears of, fuck, I have a spirit in my house. No, try to explain that you are now the owner. They have passed on. You wish them peace, love, and light.
Good luck.
And just move on. They need to move on, that you are the new owner. Some people will tend to keep the spirits with them, saying, okay, since I know he's not a bad spirit, I'll keep him around.
I don't know. How do you feel about that? I don't.
Well, that's what we try to explain to the people. Try to explain to the people, but sometimes it's grandma, it's uncle, and stuff. So they'll be hard headed. But we try to explain them to let them go.
Yeah,
let them go to the light. Why? Because I heard you say a little bit before that when they get here, they're in limbo. A limbo means you're in hell. You're every single day you're seeing people that you
love,
live with them
life.
and stuff like that, but you're stuck. You can't do nothing. You see sorry for this, I don't want to strike a nerve. You see your partner that's
stuck in hell.
Probably not struggling, but you want to be there to be the shoulder, hugger, stuff like that. So sometimes it could be hard for the spirits.
It's just I
Some
don't feel
other
I don't take
cases-
comfort. I don't take comfort in that. It's like they need to. I don't want anybody because as a Catholic, when you die, you go to heaven or hell. Heaven or hell.
Mhm.
Heaven's where you want to go, the good place. Everything's great. So I don't want to think that somebody I love or I care about is stuck here and not in heaven where they should be.
Right.
So that's my issue with like ghosts being stuck here. It's like I feel like they're being tortured, that they're not able to be in peace and in heaven or where they're supposed
But
to go.
other spirits, like, I understand where you're going to.
Yeah.
But other spirits, example, okay, somebody's rolling on the streets and bang, they get in an accident, they pass away. They didn't realize that right now
Yeah.
they're passed away. So the limbo is they're running around trying to figure till they figure that they passed away. Sometimes they will stick here, and that's painful for them. Yeah. So yeah. But the time till the time they discover, after that they want to cross the line. But some will be a little bit hard-headed.
Yeah. Like the unfinished business kind of term.
Yeah, like I do have a spirit here. Some people are calling me crazy. A certain gentleman, his name is George. He passed away in the plane crash. George was actually the owner of a football team here in the Canadian Football League. He was going to Toronto to what we call here in Canada the Super Bowl, so CFL,
Super Bowl.
A championship, whatever. And this guy passed away, and every time I listen to hockey, baseball, soccer, whatever sports, you'll feel a cold presence here. At the beginning, I found it funny because sometimes I will fall asleep in my office at the desk. And I'll have prints of the keyboard in my forehead and stuff like that. This spirit will wake me up to say, "Hey, buddy, time to go to bed."
Oh, wow.
Get out.
Wow. Have you ever found out why he stays? Have you ever
when we asked him the question? I think he took as a mission to be the guardian of my kids.
Wow.
Oh.
Because about 3 weeks ago we did a ghost box session here. My oldest kids are into paranormal, not to investigate, but they love when daddy spends time and they want to do that. I don't force them. So sometimes my son will call me, "Hey dad, I'm coming for supper. Can we do a investigation?" I go, "Yeah, come on." So we, that's a way of spending time with the kids. So we eat lunch.
They think it's cool. They
like it. They like it. So last time we did that, my son came out of his cocoon because he had certain experiences here in the house. So he asked George, he goes, "George, why are you still here? And why are you still, why were you always in my room?" and stuff like that. And the guy said, "Protection." So George took as a mission to protect the family. And this is even funnier because I wanted to test a certain person. She was claiming that she was a medium, that she could read pictures and stuff like that. I never met that lady, never saw that lady, and stuff like that. So I said, "Hey, shit, I'm gonna send her a picture." So I sent her a picture of the front of my house. Sent it to her, and instantly, in about 3 minutes, she started talking again to me about the plane crash, the names of the people in the plane crash, about George, about also I have a soldier here in the bushes, and on the picture, if you zoom in that picture, you can clearly see the picture of that soldier in the bushes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And actually, my avatar, I don't know, Harlow, if you could put me in large screen.
Yeah, just 1 second.
While you're looking on the screen, Miss Harlow, the 3 buttons by his name.
No, wrong one. I don't know. Shouldn't you be stalking Square about this time? Shouldn't you be stalking motherfuckers on the internet? Oh, wait, you already are. Never mind. Answered that one.
Hold on a second. Hit the 3 box dots and do what?
While you're looking at the screen, not on the bottom part, the part that has our faces in it, you'll see his picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold your mouse over. You see those 3 buttons? It looks like 3 little dots.
Yeah.
Press that and put
Okay.
on layout.
Put it on what?
Display out.
Solo layout.
Solo layout? Okay.
Come
Wrong
on.
one.
She did it to herself.
Come on. I'm doing it.
On his picture. On his.
Oh, I just removed him. I'm sorry. Can you tell him to come back up? I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do it.
Do I need to drop the link again?
Yeah, you have to drop the link. Let me
Oops.
add him to stage. Here he
On.
is. Sorry about that. I can't do it.
I'm
I don't know how to
backstage.
do it.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, the avatar, if you go on my picture, okay, you'll see 3
Okay.
small dots.
Yeah.
Okay, on my picture, on
There it
those
is.
3
I
small
found it.
dots.
Never mind.
Okay, cool. So the
God,
picture you're
you guys are
seeing here,
rude.
We
eh?
just taught you something new. Awesome.
Michael, grab the link. Come share your experiences, Michael.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so the picture you're seeing right now is actually a lady ghost from the 1800s.
Wow.
The picture was taken in a cemetery that I do a tour. It's called the Clara Cemetery. It was built in 1774. 1832, Montreal got hit by fire. From 1832 to 1839, Montreal got hit 5 times with the cholera. Almost most. It was sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Cholera
Tom.
was yes.
After that, you know about the natives in Canada, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, explain to Harlow. I was trying to tell her how the natives, they have their own army and everything.
Mhm.
People don't know that, you know.
Yes.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're talking about the natives. The first natives. When I told you we have the most haunted mountain in North America, okay, is actually the base up there. They built the stadium for the Canadian football team here in Montreal. So underneath that thing was the first base of the First Nations here in Canada. They were actually at the base of the mountain. The mountain is an old volcano that's that created magma. So the natives thought that it was a good place for what they call the 3 sisters: beans, corn, and Jesus Christ. Night, Bambi. Have a blessed night. Anyways, so that place, that mountain is haunted as hell. But yes, as Chris was saying, the natives here in Montreal actually went to battle with the French that were trying to colonize them. Then they united with the French against the English, but the English also had different tribes fighting against the French and the other Indians. So yes, they did have armies of soldiers, and yes, you can take me off solo now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Bambi and Charlie jump?
Yeah, they had to, get going. Bambi's getting tired, and
That's what
Charlie
I
had
figured.
to, yeah.
Because we went just hit 3 hours, so I was going to end this for the night.
Yeah, well, I was about to say I was not good. I even wrote in the chat that I would not be coming up because I'm sick
You're
as hell.
sick, yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to bed now. Thank you for having me up. And
Thank
like
you so
I
much
said,
for coming.
anytime you want to talk paranormal, or you want me to explain my life, my experience, or stuff like that, like I told Bambi, I will gladly come up and speak about it. Like I said, I've been dealing with the paranormal all my life, since the birth to presently, to this day today. So yeah.
Absolutely. It'd be
Thank you
it'd
for
be great to
coming.
have you. Thank you for coming. I usually do Haunting Harlow once a month, just about once a month.
I will be starting to do more lives. I stopped a little bit because I was remodeling my office, redoing my office and stuff, and moving some fish tanks and stuff. Anyways, big story. I'm gonna start back doing some ghost box sessions, stuff like that. Some live investigations when I go to do ghost tours and stuff like that. So you'll see that
Awesome.
popping up soon.
Well,
That's awesome.
thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
I hope you feel better.
Listen,
so.
I know about the renovations thing because I'm constantly painting rooms pink.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, you know what?
got you. Anyways, guys, have a blessed evening.
Have a great night. I hope you feel better.
And thank you again for having me up. All right.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I want to thank Miss Charlie for coming up tonight. I want to thank Investigation 13. Thank you so much. Y'all sub up to him. And I want to thank Miss Bambi. I'm sorry I kept you on so late. It is now 10 o'clock, and I know it's way past your bedtime. And we get to talking about this stuff, and we just don't stop, it seems. But you can catch us on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with Sisters in Grief. And I hope y'all have a great night and an even blessed tomorrow. Thanks.
Ciao for now. You gotta end the line.